Zach Cohen. Second baseman, Riley's not here. Outfielder, Garrett Aubert. Infielder, Nick Gillies. Infielder, Nate Flax. Outfielder, Matt Blankenship. Welcome, gentlemen. And Ricky Gingras was the catcher there for Coach Ferrenti. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here they are, your 2016 San Rafael Pacific.
Broadcast booth, so happy to have you with us for the third game of this three-game series. The Pacifics have already swept the Admirals, or beaten them in a series for the first time this season by winning the first two games in this series, and they're looking for just their second series sweep of the year. This is after they're coming off of a weekend where they were swept by the Pittsburgh Diamonds, so quite the quick turnaround, helped in large part by the starting pitching that we've seen the last couple of nights, Danny.
Yeah, it's got to be something. Matt Kavanaugh is happy. Quick turnaround, as you mentioned. They're doing a good job of rebounding after a shaky weekend in Pittsburgh.
So Patrick Conroy will look to continue that streak of good starts for San Rafael, and Conroy has been very good this season. Has just a 1-1 record, but that doesn't tell the whole story. His 2.97 earned run average is good for second in the Pacific Association, behind only his teammate Michael Ormseth. And Conroy is coming off of a great outing in Pittsburgh. In fact, one of just two quality starts the Pacific's pitchers put together last week. In his last start, Conroy went 6 innings, allowing 2 runs, earned 3 total, on 12 hits, walking 1, striking out 3. So the hit total was pretty high, but he was able to keep the Diamonds off the board, something that a lot of Pacific's pitchers struggled with last weekend and for the season. And Conroy has only twice given up more than 4 runs, and those came in 2 out of 3 starts, 1 against the Stompers, 1 against these Admirals in Vallejo. This is going to be the 3rd time that Conroy faces Vallejo, the 1st time that he pitches against them here at Albert Park. So we're getting ready for baseball. Tim Williams will stand in, the right-handed batter, as the first pitch from Conroy, and a fastball misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. Williams at .314, among the league leaders, in fact 4th in the league. And Williams with a couple of homers and 20 runs batted in. Conroy working quickly. He's the 1-0 and a fastball on the outside, says Ron Adams, and a 1-1 count.
Williams, a good combination of power and speed. He has a couple bombs on the year to go along with 8 stolen bases. Good athlete out there in the box.
1-1, and he swings and lifts one foul right side and out of the reach of Mike McClellan. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Now Conroy's strikeout numbers are a little lower than we've seen in the past. He has punched out 33 men and 42 1/3, but the walks are down. Just 11 walks in those same 42-plus innings, as the 1-2, a sidearm fastball swung on and pounded on the ground, foul to the right side, and it'll stay 1-2. Yet he's still been effective. A big part of that is because he's using his changeup more often, and he's also been locating the ball well. Defense straight up for him as Conroy will kick and he'll deal. Fastball swung on and line foul softly to the third base side, and 1-2 will stay. Conroy works in with a couple of fastballs, the changeup, and a good slider. 2014 Pacific Association Pitcher of the Year. Struggled last year, and again this season has been a good rebound for him. 1-2. Conroy kicks, he deals. Fastball, strike 3 called on the inside at the knees, 1 away in the first inning.
Yeah, Williams not too pleased with that call. It looked to be a little low, but home plate umpire Ron Adams thought it looked pretty good from here, so he rung him up.
And now Darian Sanford will come up. Sanford, the switch-hitting center fielder, will bat from the right side against Conroy. In fact, the only at-bats where Sanford will bat right-handed, as well as the other switch hitters in this lineup, because Conroy is the only left-handed pitcher on the entire staff. Conroy's into his windup. First pitch to Sanford, and a fastball swung on and lifted foul to the right side and out of play. 0-1.
Admirals living up to their aggressive reputation so far here in the game, attacking Conroy early. He's matched them with good quality fastballs that they haven't been able to put in play yet.
Wicks is in at third. Has a lot of speed out there. In fact, defensively for the Pacifics, brought to you by MarinLink.org, as the 0-1. swung on and tapped foul to the third base side. Quickly 0-2. From left to right in the outfield, Johnny Bukakis in left with Kyle Adey in center and Brent Gillespie out in right. Mike McClellan is at first base. Chase Tucker at second. Daniel Gonzalez, the shortstop. Jordan Wicks at the hot corner. And Mark Lindsay doing the catching for the second straight night. 0-2 as Conroy winds and fires. And a fastball just misses inside, some two-seam action. And it'll be 1-2. Sanford at 261 has 6 doubles, his only extra base hits, and 10 runs batted in. The story with Sanford is his speed, 26 steals. He's been caught 9 times. 1-2, breaking ball swung on, a high tapper back to the mound. Conroy will field, spin and throw, and Sanford retired. And there are 2 away here in the first inning.
Conroy, a big guy out there on the mound, 6'4", 220, but he's an athlete. Very mobile for his size, fields his position well.
It'll bring up Gerald Bautista from the right side at 292. Gerald has 3 home runs on the season, tied for the team lead, and also has 24 runs batted in. First pitch from Conroy, and that misses in tight. It's 1-0. Conroy kicks, he delivers. The 1-0 fastball misses low and inside. A 2-0 count. 2 away, top of the first. Scoreless ball game. Conroy trying to set the Admirals down in order, as Polanco did last night. 2-0, here it is. Fastball misses high. 3 balls, no strikes to Bautista.
Conroy will primarily work off of that fastball. He can cut it, two-seam it, throw some different variations of it up there.
3-0, fastball right down the heart of the plate is 3-1.
Bautista taken all the way there, as so many hitters do in 3-0 counts.
Conroy working with good pace. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and he misses low with the heater. So after getting the first 2 men, Conroy issues a 5-pitch walk. It'll bring up P.J. Phillips, the DH.
Yeah, pitching coaches often stress how important it is not to walk guys with 2 outs. Conroy surrendering the walk there. We'll see if he can wiggle his way out of this minuscule jam that he's created for himself.
Phillips at 217 on the year, has 1 homer and 10 runs batted in, still trying to break out of that early season funk. He's 3 for his last 19. Conroy at the chest, first pitch fastball misses low. 1 ball, no strikes to Phillips. In fact, Phillips has 2 of those 3 hits in this series. So maybe he's starting to come alive, but still not the very dangerous hitter that we've seen in years past. 1-0 at the chest. Here's Conroy, a fastball on the outside at the knees. 1-1 the count.
Well located pitch from Conroy there. Phillips couldn't do anything but spit on it.
Ron Adams will give you about a half ball's width off the outside corner. The 1-1 swung on and tipped foul off of Lindsay's leg guard. 1-2.
Another good pitch from Conroy there. A little slider breaking into the back foot of Phillips. He just tipped it. So important for left-handed pitchers to pitch inside to righties. Righties have a tendency to look for the ball away, try to get their arms extended. And if the lefty is able to effectively come into them, it can really break their rhythm, break what they're trying to do up there at the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Bautista is held on by McClellan at first. Here's Conroy. Fastball swung on, grounded, stopped by a diving McClellan. He'll take it to the bag of Michael McClellan. And the side retired here in the first inning. So no runs, no hits, a walk, and 1 man left. We'll go to the last of the first scoreless ball game right here on the Pacific's Radio Network. For 2 games at the beginning of next week, Tuesday night. Quite the exciting night here at the ballpark with the Eyes of America in Cleveland. For the Republican National Convention, the Pacifics will be hosting an anti-convention here at Albert Park. It'll be a first, and fans coming through the gates will get red hats with the slogan "Make Baseball Great Again" written across the front. Between innings games such as a teabag toss and a candidate's race around the bases and more. So for taking some more information on the Pacific's upcoming homestands, please visit pacificsbaseball.com. Conroy able to work through a nice first inning. Great play by McClellan to take a hit away from P.J. Phillips, though.
Yeah, he's been impressive over at first base so far since we've seen him. Good athlete over there. demonstrating that athleticism on the last play, going completely horizontal to make the play at first.
Well, Josh Evans will get the start for the Admirals today. Evans, who worked mostly out of the pen last year, converted to a starter, 3 appearances, all of them starts. 0-1 his record, but a 1.76 ERA, 18 strikeouts to 5 walks, and 15 and a third innings pitched. So it looks as if he's getting about 5 innings per start. But he's striking out guys at the same rate that he did when he was a reliever. Good stuff from him.
It's going to be some quality innings that you get from him. 18 Ks in 15 and a third innings tells you he has some really good stuff.
Kyle 80 at the plate first, and a fastball from Evans on the outside for a strike. It's 0-1. 80 up to 241. 3 for his last 10. As a pair of doubles, pair of triples, and 7 RBIs. Fastball from Evans on the outside at the belt. And quickly 0-2.
80 only hitting 241 on the year, but he has a 388 on base percentage thanks to 12 walks.
0-2, a slider misses in the dirt, and a 1-2 count to 80.
Those walks tell you that he's patient up the plate. He's also only struck out 12 times, which means he puts the bat on the ball, is able to work the count deep, not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
And with this game having no bearing on the first half standings, Matt Cavanaugh able to give Zach Pace a rest as 80 chases a high fastball and misses. Strike 3. 1 away here in the first inning for Jordan Wicks. So you see 80 getting some time today. Jake Taylor is getting a day off as well, and Jordan Wicks spelling him by playing third base as Wicks will now come to the plate. Wicks, in just 19 plate appearances this season, has 3 hits, a 158 average, does have a double. It was his first professional hit, in fact, over in Sonoma. Evans into the windup. First pitch fastball misses high and tight, and it's 1-0. Evans will give you a good high 80s to low 90s fastball and pairs it with a changeup and a breaking ball. 1-0. Here it is. Fastball swung on and lined out into left field. Coming in is Brill. That's going to drop in front of him for a base hit. So Wicks flips one in there between Baez and Brill. First base hit of the ball game, and now Mike McClellan will come up.
Yeah, Wicks didn't square that ball up on the heart of the barrel, but he got enough of it to flip it out over his shortstop's head in front of the left fielder. He has his 4th knock of the year.
And he has a lot of speed at first base. Wicks has stolen one back in 1 try, held on by Mosby. McClellan, 2 hits and 3 trips in his Pacifics and professional debut last night, and they were 2 impressive hits. Matt Cavanaugh mentioned it on the pregame show, but they were 2 line shots through the 5.5 hole.
Yeah, he's an impressive specimen up there at the plate.
A slide step and a fastball with some action on it, misses low and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
McClellan has a lot of patience up there at the plate.
1-0. Wicks at first, and McClellan swings a chopper over at third. Tough play with the Sunfield, but Bautista will field. Throw to second, 1 over to first. A double play, and the inning is over. So no runs, a hit, nobody left. Through 1, a scoreless ball game. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Peterson, and we're coming to you live from the San Rafael Pacifics baseball team. And tonight, so far, Conroy has exemplified great strength behind the mound. However, the Pacifics were not able to generate bat speed enough to bring in that run. I'm Melissa Peterson, and we'll be right back.
Free admission to the game, and then also there'll be a kids home run derby taking place after the game that kids in attendance will be invited to participate in. So for tickets and more information on upcoming homestands for San Rafael, please visit pacificsbaseball.com. All right, well, Fredo Petit will lead off here in the second, the switch hitter who will bat right-handed against Conroy. And Petit had an interesting game last night, had the go-ahead RBI single in the 7th inning, As Conroy's into his windup, first pitch to Petit, and he lunges at a fastball, chopper over towards short. Wicks can't get it, Gonzalez can, throws to first, got him by a quarter step. Nice play by Daniel Gonzalez. Wicks tried to cut it off with the sun in his eyes, and I think Petit stopped running halfway down the first base line.
Yeah, I think Wicks got a piece of that. If you're scoring at home, it's going to go 5-6-3. Not your typical put out from the shortstop. But Gonzalez was able to recover quickly after Wicks missed it, make a strong throw over to McClellan at first.
So Brill will stand in now, who has been red hot since joining the Admirals. Brill coming into action today with a .321 average through 8 games. First pitch from Conroy and a fastball, strike on the outside, 0-1. And if Brill has turned a corner offensively in his career, then good for him, although he's a career .210 hitter.
Yeah, that would be huge for him considering he's known as a defensive specialist.
0-1, the fastball misses low, and a 1-1 count. Looked like Conroy tried something there and couldn't get it to go, but last night Polanco figured him out pretty well, coming in with breaking balls early and often, and he didn't look good on those breakers.
No, he didn't look too comfortable in the box. We'll see if he made an adjustment tonight.
1-1, changeup, misses high and away. 2 balls and a strike. But at some time, don't you think the law of averages will come out? If you're a .210 hitter, chances are you'll go back to that average at some point.
Things are going to even out eventually.
2-1, swung on and chopper to third. Wicks handles the high hop, spins, fires across in plenty of time. 2 away. A nice play by Jordan Wicks. And Lydell Mosby will stand in.
Wicks had a little trouble picking up that high chopper with all the sunlight over at third base. It was coming down and the sun was glaring directly in his eyes. He wasn't wearing glasses. Had to shield his eyes, but he was able to glove it and make a strong throw across the diamond.
Not easy for fielders on the left side of the field at all because the sun is setting behind the right side of the grandstand and one of the worst sun fields in the league. First pitch to Mosby. Breaking ball, misses low and away, or low and in, it's 1-0. Yet, that same sunset creates an incredible atmosphere here at Albert Park. So you win some, you lose some. The 1-0 and a fastball just inside. 2 balls, no strikes.
You mentioned that ball and a half width. Ron Adams will give you on the outer half. Not necessarily the same deal on the inside half.
Breaking ball misses low to Mosby, so 3 balls, no strikes. With 2 outs here in the second inning, Conroy is in danger for the second straight inning of issuing a walk after getting the first 2 outs quickly. 3-0, here he comes, and he misses low. So a 4-pitch walk to Lydell Mosby, his second free pass of the night, now Alian Silva.
A little exasperation out on the mound from Conroy in his body language. He's got to lock it back in here. Focus on Silva, move on to the next hitter.
Silva from the right side. He's hitting .313 through his first 9 games, has a double, a triple, and 7 runs batted in. Up in the box. Conroy at the chest. A changeup misses low and away. 1-0 count. In his last start in Pittsburgh, it was being able to use that changeup in virtually any count that made Conroy so effective. Kept hitters off balance the entirety of the night. The 1-0 and a fastball misses low. Good block by Lindsay. 2 balls, no strikes.
Conroy struggling with the zone a little bit here. You see Lindsay calling a few off-speed pitches. Sometimes when pitchers struggle with their fastball, catchers will call a curveball or a changeup trying to get him into a different arm slot, just a new page. But Conroy hasn't found it yet.
2-0, a fastball right down the middle, 2-1. One thing that Lindsay has shown with Conroy is that when the two are paired together as battery mates, Lindsay will come in with a changeup a lot. He loves using that pitch. And those have been a couple of Conroy's better games. 2-1, kick and deal, and Silva checks his swing. Did he offer? Appeal denied by Paul Case, 3-1.
Conroy wanted that one, nodding his head out on the mound, as pitchers so often do on check swings. They'll do anything to try to influence a call for their benefit.
Now 3-1 with 2 outs. No score yet in the game. In the top of the second, as Silva takes a fastball that misses high. So back-to-back walks with 2 outs. Now Mark Lindsay and Nick DeBar will head out to the mound and try and calm down Conroy. You see what's going on here.
Yeah, Conroy a little uncharacteristically wild here. 3 walks through an inning and 2/3. He only had 11 walks coming in 42 1/3 innings. So this is atypical. DeBar just going out there, giving his big lefty a breather, trying to calm him down. Tell him to move on to the next hitter, not linger on the previous ones.
The thing is that the next hitter's strike zone is about to get even smaller than the last two. Baez stands at 5'6". So if you're struggling with your control, he's the last man you want to be facing.
That's right. Small man, carries a big stick though.
Checking in on the Weaver's Coffee and Tea out-of-town scoreboard, scoreless in the top of the third between the Diamonds and Sonoma. So Baez, switch hitter, batting right-handed at 235, 1 home run, 10 RBIs. Conroy will try and settle down after getting the first 2 men here in the second and walking the next 2. Look back at second. Conroy to the plate. Fastball taken all the way, and it's there for a strike, 0-1.
Big pitch right there, just finding the zone again. Grooving one into Baez, starting out on the right foot ahead in the count.
Baez choked up. The 0-1. Breaking ball just misses high. Nice pitch from Conroy. Had Baez fooled. It's 1-1. Conroy at the chest. Here it is. And Baez swings a slow roller at short. Gonzalez will field and go the long way to first, but it's in time. So Conroy gets a 6-3 ground out and strands 2 runners on base. To the bottom of the second we go. No score yet. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics right here on the Pacifics Radio Network. And help the team fight the drought. For every game that the Pacifics draw 500 or more fans, they will not wash their uniforms in an effort to save water. It's called Get Dirty with the Pacifics, and it's brought to you by Marin Clean Energy and the Marin Municipal Water District. So come out to a Pacifics game this summer and help fight the drought. For tickets or more information on the upcoming Pacifics homestands, please visit pacificsbaseball.com or call 415-485-1563. Chase Tucker will lead off this last half of the second inning. Hova and Gillespie will follow him against Josh Evans, who gave up the soft single to Wicks in the first, was able to get a double play to get out of it. And we'll see what the Pacifics can do against them. A pitcher's duel in last night's game. Both pitchers tonight working with good pace, something that we also saw last night. Now, as a fielder, what does a pitcher who works so quickly do for you?
Well, it keeps you on your toes. You're going to stay interested in the game because you know the next pitch is coming just 5-6 seconds after the last one. Pitcher who works with slow pace, it's really easy to let your mind wander, start daydreaming out in the field, and the next thing you know, you have a hot shot on your hands that you're not ready for.
Chase Tucker will lead off. Tucker, a good season at .345, leads the league, a homer, 18 RBIs. Takes a first pitch fastball from Evans. At the belt for a strike, 0-1. Wind blowing in from left center field today. 1 strike pitch. And Tucker swings a hot shot toward the hole. Baez over to his right, has it on the backhand. Quick throw in the dirt. Wouldn't have been in time anyway. An infield single for Chase Tucker. Second hit of the game for San Rafael. And now Michael Hova.
It was an excellent play by Baez, minus the throw. Made a really nice pick on the backhand side, quick feet, got to the proper footwork position. Just needed a little more mustard on the throw across the diamond. Mosby had to come off the bag, made a nice scoop to keep the ball from going by him, but Tucker would have beat it out anyways.
A slide step and a fastball to Hova. He takes all the way for a strike, 0-1. Hova up to 296, 4 homers, one of which came last night, 24 runs batted in. That homer was a clutch one. 0-1, a big swing and a foul back, 0-2. Came in the last of the 8th, a controversial shot down the left field line. The question was, did it hook foul before it went over the wall? And because he hit it so high, good 20-25 feet high, they couldn't tell. 0-2, and Evans skips in a good fastball, 1-2. But it's fair because the umpire called it fair, right? So the go-ahead home run gave the Pacifics the win.
Yeah, 300 umpires in the stands, but there's only one that matters, and he's out there on the field.
1-2. Tucker held on by Mosby. Evans to the plate, and Hova swings and misses. Strike 3. Looked like Evans took something off that pitch. Second strikeout for him, one away in the second for Brent Gillespie.
Yeah, good use of the changeup there by Evans. Hova was locked in on the second fastball of the at-bat, fouling it straight back. Evans took note of it, came back with something a little softer, and Hova wasn't ready for it.
So Gillespie from the left side, 9 homers, leading the league, 28 runs batted in. First pitch swinging, he lifts one high and foul, third base side. Bautista coming over as is Brill, but it'll fall out of play. And it's 0-1. Gillespie is going through the first slump of the season and of his career. 0 for his last 9 and just 1 for his last 13. Had a 15-game hitting streak that started in the first week of the season. Since then has been on and off, but hasn't had any prolonged droughts until this point. 0-1, here it is, and Gillespie, big swing and a foul back. No balls and 2 strikes.
And for Gillespie, the cause of that drought might be a little dip that he has in his swing. Just seems to be under so many balls that he's making contact with, popping a lot of pitches up, a lot of fly balls. Got to make a concerted effort to keep that top hand on top of the baseball, try to drive some line drives.
And BP, the mantra has been other way. It's Gillespie swings and lines one foul right side out of play. 0-2 it'll stay. It's what got him into that first hot streak. In the beginning of the season, he was focusing on pushing everything over the shortstop's head. Right, left, center. Doesn't matter what the result is, just focus on that. Lets the ball travel deeper. That's where his power came from. 0-2, and he swings and lifts it foul and out of play. 0-2 it'll stay.
And that's been a pitch that's been giving Gillespie some trouble of late. The high fastball. He's had some difficulty getting on top of it. He did a good job to fight that one off from Evans there.
Tucker single to lead off the inning. Leads the Pacifics in steals as Evans will check over and chase back head first. Tucker with 9 stolen bases. He's been caught just 3 times. Evans, a high set, he deals, and Gillespie takes a changeup, missing low. 1-2.
Evans using that changeup often early in the game here so far, and you can see why. It's a very effective pitch for him. Got very good speed differential from his fastball. It's been fooling hitters.
1-2, and Gillespie swings a grounder through the right side under the leaping Tucker. That's a base hit. Seeing a single for Brent Gillespie. 2 hits here in the second inning and 2 on for Daniel Gonzalez.
Nice piece of hitting from Gillespie. That's a huge at-bat for a hitter who's been struggling. Anytime you can foul some tough pitches off and then see a mistake up in the zone, drive it into right field for a base hit, you're going to be feeling pretty good over at first base.
I think this conversation about the changeup bears some more merit, though, because I think it's one of the most underrated pitches in baseball. You see guys make an entire career out of it, like Trevor Hoffman, and the reason it's so effective is because of its deception. First pitch fastball to Gonzalez right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The idea of the changeup is that it looks exactly the same as a fastball coming out of your hand, but it's a couple miles an hour slower, has some more movement on it. As the 0-1 and a breaking ball. Strike on the outside. Gonzalez a little frustrated with the zone. It's 0-2.
I agree with you, Vinny. I mean, in my opinion, properly thrown changeup is the best pitch in baseball because of that deception you're talking about. A hitter just physically can't read if it's a fastball or an off-speed coming out of the hand.
1-2 fastball outside. And now 1-2. And Evans has been working it well tonight. In fact, 2 pitchers on the mound in this game who have good changeups. Tucker dancing off the bag at second. Here's the 1-2, breaking ball, smoke down the right field line, slicing foul though. 1-2 will stay.
And for young pitchers, the youth in our country is often so excited with the curveballs, the breaking balls, because they're excited to see what the ball can do once they throw that spin on it and get the breaking ball. The changeup is kind of fallen by the wayside, but they don't realize just how deceptive and effective it can be.
1-2 in a scoreless ball game, 1 away, last of the second. Here it is. Breaking ball swung on, grounded down the third baseline, under the glove of Bautista, into left field, a base hit. Tucker's rounding third, he will score. Here goes Gillespie to third, he slides in safely. Gonzalez into second with a stand-up double. And the Pacifics take a 1-0 lead here in the last of the second.
Great piece of hitting from Gonzalez there in a 2-strike count. Got a mistake up in the zone from Evans. Punished it down the third base line. Bautista had a chance for it, trying to backhand it, but the ball snuck under his glove.
I think a couple things happened on that play. One, the sun is not as bad as it once was, but still tough to pick up the ball at third base with the lighting. You also got a lower hop than he was expecting. First pitch to Mark Lindsay, right there with the fastball, and it's 0-1. Lindsay has struggled at the plate, 163, 7 hits in 43 trips. Did have a nice single last night. As the 0-1 and a fastball missing high and away, 1-1.
Important at bat here early in the game. Pacific's already with a 1-0 lead. Now runners at second and third, less than 2 outs. If you're Lindsay, you want to at least loft a ball to the outfield so that Gillespie can tag.
Swinging on the 1-1, he fouls it back. So 1-2 count to Lindsay.
In fact, any ball in play will score a run for the Pacifics, minus a comebacker to the pitcher. The infield for Vallejo is playing back. They're conceding the run this early in the game.
Gillespie at third and Gonzalez at second. Daniel moves the better of the two. Here it is, and a fastball, strike 3 called at the belt. Second strikeout of the inning for Josh Evans. Third overall. 2 away for Johnny Bukakis.
And that's something we've been seeing a little too often. Pacifics fan from the club of late, and that's striking out with runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs. Really got to make a concerted effort just to put the ball in play at the very least, if not drive something.
Johnny Bukakis representing the bottom of the order. 1 run already across here in the second. Bukakis, 288, takes a first pitch fastball, missing inside. And it's 1-0. Has 1 home run, 12 runs batted in. Now time for the team lead with Daniel Gonzalez with 8 doubles. 1-0. Here's Evans, and he swings and pops it up right side. Mosby coming over behind the bag and foul ground, makes the catch, side retired here in the second inning. But the Pacifics get on the board first thanks to the double from Daniel Gonzalez. They leave 2. We go to the top half of the third. 1-0 Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Graham Gillis with another inning recap on Pacifics Baseball on Marin TV. Patrick Conroy was very strong again in the second inning, giving up 2 walks, losing his control a little bit, but being able to get out of the inning with no runs allowed. Pacifics picked up a run on 2 hits. I'm Graham Gillis. This has been Pacifics Baseball on Marin TV. We'll be right back.
First pitch breaking ball from Conroy, and it misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. Williams, a strikeout victim in the first inning. Conroy's only strikeout of the night. 0 for 1. 1-0 Pacifics leading as Conroy into the windup. Here it is. Fastball. Just misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Williams, good amount of speed. A 2-0. And he swings and drives one out into the gap in left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit and is going to roll for a while. It'll be extra bases. Bukakis over to cut it off. Williams is into second with a standoff leadoff double. And a tying run now in scoring position to begin the third inning.
Nice piece of hitting from Williams. And that's the result of Conroy falling behind in the count. 2-0, had to come in with something predictable. Fastball up in the zone. Williams was laying in wait for it, and he pounded it.
Sanford now may very well bunt in this situation. Not necessarily to sacrifice, but to get a hit as well. Corners are played in. With good speed at second base. Sanford squares and pulls to take the breaking ball just away. And a 1-0 count. Sanford, the switch hitter from the right side, grounded out back to the mound in the first inning. McClellan creeping. Sanford squares, gets it down third base side. Wicks in on it. Fields throws to first. And Tucker with a nice play. in order to corral the ball and get Sanford. To third goes Williams on the sacrifice bunt. One away for the heart of the order.
Nice bunt by Sanford there. Deadened the ball off his bat. Had some nice soft hands receiving it. Weeks came in, made a good strong throw across the diamond to Tucker, who had a long way to go. He was holding Williams on at second base. He had to hustle his butt over to first base.
First pitch to Bautista. He swings and a cue shot foul to the first base side. The ball's one strike. Bautista walked in the first inning. 3 walks issued by Patrick Conroy today. Tim Williams got the first hit for the Admirals. And he doubled the lead off this inning. The 1-strike pitch. And a swing and a line drive. Gonzalez fields on one hop. Throw from the outfield. McClellan leaps and he won't have a play. Bautista will be safe on the infield single. Coming home to score is Tim Williams, and we're tied up at 1.
Another pitch up in the zone from Conroy. Bautista hit that one hard. Conroy was lucky that Gonzalez was able to glove that one. Good throw would have had Bautista at first, but Gonzalez was just so deep in the hole. It was slim chance he was going to make a good throw.
Yeah, that was a tough play for Daniel Gonzalez. And the RBI single for Bautista. First pitch to P.J. Phillips, a breaking ball from Conroy, misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. Phillips robbed of a hit by a diving McClellan in the first inning. 0 for 1. Infield a double play depth with 1 out. Here it is. And a swing and a drive down the right field line. Slicing though, and it'll go foul. 1-1. Remember, a different defensive alignment for San Rafael this evening. Bakakis is in left field. That's pretty standard. But 80 is in center field, giving Zach Pace a day off. And Brent Gillespie, who primarily played at first base, is out in right. 1-1. Change up for a strike. It's 1-2.
Good pitch by Conroy there. Phillips wasn't sitting anything off speed. Conroy changed it up on him, pulled the string. Phillips had to take it.
Conroy at the chest. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on in line through the left side. That's a base hit. Another pitch up in the zone. Phillips got a good piece of it. 3 hits here in the third inning around a sacrifice bunt. 2 on with 1 out for Wilfredo Petit.
Yeah, Conroy's got really good stuff. There's no doubt about that. But anytime you elevate the ball from the mid-thigh to the belt, professional hitters are going to make you pay, and that's what the Admirals have done here in this inning.
So Petit, switch hitter from the right side, grounded into a 5.63 putout in the second inning. Has grounded into 6 double plays this season. Conroy to the plate. Fastball swung on, chops slowly at second. Tucker fields, steps on the bag, 1 to first, 2, and the inning is over. So Petit grounds into the inning-ending double play. And the side retired, middle of the third, 1-1 tie. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics here on PacificsBaseball.com. Convention next Tuesday and Kids Day, the 12:35 start next Wednesday, but Friday, July 22nd. Exciting game here at Albert Park, Prostate Cancer Awareness Night. And a unique promotion for the Pacifics, a foam finger giveaway with the text "Fear Not the Finger" across the finger of the foam finger. That's Saturday, July 23rd. National Hot Dog Day will be celebrated with a great hot dog eating contest. The first 400 fans will receive a t-shirt that says "Eat a hot dog and watch baseball" across the front. And the Pacifics will be selling a limited time, 1 time only, hot dog courtesy of the United Markets, the double play dog, a hot dog topped with mac and cheese and bacon. So a lot to look forward to. And for tickets and more information, please visit PacificsBaseball.com. 80 will lead off here in the third, a strikeout victim, and his only other trip in a 1-1 tie. Adie from the left side, wide open his stance. As Evans rocks into the windup, here's the first pitch, and Adie swings and fouls it back and over the grandstand. 0-1. Evans 0-1, and Adie takes a breaking ball that misses low. So 1-1 count. Just a couple of fingers of light behind the pitcher's mound. And extending out to left field. Still a tough sun field for Aaron Brill out there. 1-1. 80 takes a fastball. Strike on the inside at the knees. 1-2. Evans will kick, he'll deliver, and 80 swings and lifts one high into the air, shallow left. Brill coming in on it, there to make the catch. One away in the third for Jordan Wicks.
Evans continues to roll here. He's got an interesting little hitch in his windup as he delivers the pitch. As he raises his leg, he takes a slight pause, as so many Japanese pitchers often do when they come to the major leagues. Evans has a little bit of that influence in his windup.
That'll bring Jordan Wicks up. Wicks singled into left, was part of that inning-ending double play in the first. The breaking ball misses out. It's 1-0.
Wicks showing bunt there. Batista was back on his heels at third base. A good idea from Wicks.
Evans rocks, he fires. And Wicks swings and shoots one down the left field line foul, and it's 1-1. You look at what Evans has done tonight. For the most part, the pitches that he's elevated in the zone, he hasn't had to pay for because he's had the Pacific's hitters off balance. And that's a pretty good sign for a pitcher because you can make mistakes and get away with it. 1-1. Here it comes. And Wicks squares and misses at the bunt, and it's 1-2.
And I think that's a byproduct of Pacific's not knowing when that changeup is coming exactly from Evans. It's so deceptive. He's done a really good job of throwing it for strikes too, so that even when they take it, it's still going to be called.
1-2 pitch, and Wicks chases a breaking ball in the dirt. Strike three. Petit with the scoop into fair territory, fires to first. Wicks, the fourth strikeout victim of the night for Josh Evans. 2 quick outs here in the third inning for Mike McClellan.
Yeah, Evans has his off-speed working tonight. Between that changeup and the tight little slider, which he just got Wicks on, Pacifics are in for a tough matchup.
McClellan, 5-4-3 double play in his first trip. As Evans to the plate, and he swings and misses, does McClellan, over top of the breaking ball. 0-1. Nice tight slider from Josh Evans.
Yeah, it's not a huge break from Evans, but it's short, it's sharp, and it's quick, which is the last thing that hitters want. Late movement as it enters the hitting zone.
0-1. McClellan tries to hold back on the breaking ball, goes through again. And an 0-2 count.
And there it is once again. McClellan recognized it was a breaking ball, but he had already committed, and by the time he tried to hold up, it was too late. He had already gone around.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's Evans. And McClellan swings and misses, strike 3. A 3-pitch punch out for Josh Evans. He now has 5 on the evening. We're through 3, and the score is tied up at 1. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics here on PacificsBaseball.com. Field. Some guys are a little more reserved in the way they carry themselves. Then you have the complete opposite side of the spectrum. And I think that's closer to what you'll see with Aaron Brill.
Peacocking a little bit.
One way to put it, yeah.
So the shadows starting to dissipate here at Hubbard's Park. There's just a few little pockets of sunlight behind pitcher's mound. As Conroy peers in at Mark Lindsay's sign, he kicks and delivers. The first pitch is taken for a ball inside. Brill running up as if he would bunt, but then pulled back. Looks like he was taken all the way with that one.
This fourth inning is a big one for Conroy.
1-0 pitch is in there for a strike at the knees, 1-1.
First thing he's got to do is reestablish the strike zone. He's struggled with it for most of the night. He's also elevated a lot of pitches. Gave up some loud contact in that third.
1-1 delivery from Conroy is swung on and fouled off, 1-2.
He knows this is an aggressive Admirals lineup, so if he can keep the ball down, use their aggressiveness against them, and that'll be a key here. He needs to put up a 0.
Yeah, interesting. He was struggling finding the zone early on, and then as he progressed, he found the zone, but he was up in it when he was in it. The 1-2 offering from Conroy is fouled off by Brill once again. Keep the count at 1-2.
Conroy changed up speeds that time, but again, it was up in the zone. And if a hitter is looking changeup and he gets changeup up, it can spell disaster. That's one of the easier pitches to hit. But when your changeup is deceptive, as Conroy's is, you can get away with it once in a while. But elevating pitches is not going to end well.
1-2 delivery is a good hard breaking ball down in the zone. Strike 3.
And one more K for kids.
As a left-handed pitcher facing a right-handed batter, you have a good slider with lateral movement as well as some sharp dip on it. That's exactly where you want to throw it. You want to get it to the back foot. It's tantalizing in the zone till the very last second, and then it dips out. And you get a lot of strikeouts on that pitch.
Good depth, that breaking ball from Conroy. That was one of the better ones we've seen him throw tonight. That'll bring Lydell Mosby up to the plate, who walked in his first at-bat. First pitch to Mosby is another breaking ball, down and in, 1-0.
Well, that's the book on Mosby, is he can hit the fastball, and he will hit it hard, but struggles more with breaking balls.
Try to softball him. 1-0 delivery is a fastball that's raked down the line. Diving play by Wicks. He gets up. He throws across the diamond, but McClellan can't pick it at first base. The ball's going to skip by him, but Mosby will retreat back to first base. A sensational play by Wicks down the line. Nearly had Mosby at first base.
I think even if McClellan came away with that tough pick, not sure Mosby would have been out. I mean, he got down the line pretty quickly, and that was a very tough play for Jordan Wicks. But I think what was most impressive about that was his first reaction. That ball was smoked. Conroy came in with a challenge fastball. Mosby turned on it, and Wicks with a great first step. And at the hot corner, you only have a first step. Otherwise, you're done. So Wicks, who doesn't get to play there every day and is more of a middle infielder, fitting in well in that situation.
A guy who's known for his glove, showing why right there with that play. So that'll bring Alian Silva up to the plate. First pitch to Silva is change up, down and in, 1-0. Silva also walked in his first plate appearance back in the second inning. 1-0 delivery. There's a breaking ball up in the zone. Grounded out to Gonzalez at short, who throws onto Tucker to get Mosby at second, but Silva's too fast down the line to get the back end of that double play. But now there are two away here in the top half of the fourth inning, and that'll bring Gadiel Baez up to the plate.
And that play is one of the multiple reasons why Daniel Gonzalez won Defensive Player of the Year at shortstop last season. Went into the hole and made a great play to his knees, but more importantly, in one motion, spun from his knees through to second in time to get Mosby getting the lead runner. Critical play in this inning.
First pitch to Baez is swung on and dribbled in no man's land out to second base. Tucker bobbles the ball, and he is not going to be able to throw at Baez, who gets down the line well. Tucker would have had a play if he fielded it cleanly, but a slight bobble just cost him.
Very rarely will you hear anybody say anything against Chase Tucker defensively. One of the best defensive players in this league. He didn't get a good jump on that ball. I think that he wasn't expecting it to come at him as slowly as it did. And there's not much he could have done other than charge it, but he had to wait for that high hop. So Baez will reach on what they've given Tucker, an error.
That'll bring Tim Williams up to the plate. First pitch to the leadoff man is a ball outside, 1-0. Williams is 1 for 2 on the day. He struck out in the first, then doubled in the third inning. 1-0 delivery to Williams is a fastball. Williams takes a good, healthy rip at it and fouls it up and away, 1-1.
And this goes back to something we were discussing last night with relation to Kita De La Cruz, the Admirals starter, is that Conroy in this game has had to make a lot of high-stress pitches. He's had runners in scoring position in each of the last 3 innings. And like you said last night, Danny, takes a lot out of your arm to make these consistent high-stretch pitches to a good lineup.
1-1 delivery is swung on and bounced up the middle. Tucker will field it. He's going to throw to first. Bang, bang play, but he gets the out. So in the top of the fourth, the Admirals strand 2, score none. It's still 1-1 as we move to the bottom of the fourth right here on the Pacifics Radio Network.
Evans, you're seeing, is throwing with a good pace. He's keeping the off-speed pitches down in the zone. He's keeping Pacific's hitters off balance. And because of it, they've struggled at the plate. A couple of pieces allowed contact in that second inning, including Gonzalez's RBI double. But he settled down in the third, put up a 0, as was critical for him to do after his team just got him back a run. But now, after he and Conroy have traded zeros, this inning, you could argue, is even more important for him to keep the Pacifics scoreless. He's going to be facing the 4, 5, 6 batters, very capable hitters in this Pacifics order, and you can't give the Pacifics momentum. San Rafael is 11-5 here at Albert Park. There's a good crowd on hand tonight, a lot of positive energy in this ballpark. So you give them something to work with, and you might just find yourself behind quickly.
Yeah, on a night where a lot of the Pacific's regulars aren't in the lineup, Evans is going to go after 3 guys here in this inning who are always in the lineup in Tucker, Hova, and Gillespie. Tucker is 1 for 1 on the night. He had a single back in the second inning and came around to score the Pacific's only run. First pitch is swung on and fouled off. A fastball offering from Evans, 0-1.
And it was good to see Tucker get that first inning single. Was on the infield, but it was a tough play for Baez. But Tucker just 6 for his last 26. Is starting to come out of it.
0-1 delivery is a fastball on the outer half of the strike zone, 0-2.
But as we've seen too much of late, he finds himself in quick 0-2 situations. Seems to always happen to you when you're in a slump, but he's a man who has led the league in hitting for most of the year.
0-2 delivery is a breaking ball down in the dirt, 1-2. And Evans has just done a phenomenal job of jumping out in front of so many of these Pacific's hitters.
Hey, that first pitch strike is such a critical pitch. Over the course of an at-bat, you can do so much more if you're ahead of the count.
1-2 delivery. There's another breaking ball that Tucker punishes out into center field, but the rangy Sanford is going to track it down in the right center gap. A sinking liner that he was able to glove for the first out of the inning.
As good as many of the center fielders are in this league, I'm not sure if anybody else other than Darian Sanford makes that play. Maybe Pace because of his excellent reads, but he got a great jump on that ball, and he also has the best speed in this league, bar none. And that was a ball that had base hit written all over it. And she went up on a stolen hit for Darian Sanford.
Yeah, once he starts sniffing that ball, his closing speed is going to get him there more often than not. I'll bring Hova to the plate. First pitch to him is a breaking ball down in the dirt. He checks his swing. Appeal down to first base umpire Paul Case, but he says that Hova didn't go 1-0.
I think Hova might have gotten away with one.
1-0 delivery. Another breaking ball, which Hova sends deep into left field. Going back, and it is off the top of the wall. And Hova, who's jogging, thinks it's gone, but it's only going to be a double. But Hova will wind up at second base with a double off the top of the wall, right off of that yellow marker at the very top of the wall, which is meant to distinguish a home run from in play. That's bizarre. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
See, I thought that it hit the shed behind the wall and then bounced back into play. That's what I thought I saw, but that would have been Hova's second home run in his last 3 at-bats. He'll take the double, and it's not drawing any argument for Matt Cavanaugh, who in the third base coach's box has a great perspective. So I think, yeah, it hit the piping, which unique, in a way to put it.
First pitch to Gillespie is breaking ball high and away, 1-0. Well, the carom that it took off the piping, it made you think that it must have bounced off the shed or something over the fence, but apparently it didn't. Hova will have his 8th double of the lead, tied for the team lead now with Daniel Gonzalez. And Gillespie swinging. He's going to pop one up to the shortstop, Baez, who ranges out to shallow center field. Gloves it for the second out of the inning, now 2 away.
That was a big timeout recorded by Josh Evans because you just got the ball tagged off of you. You fall behind Gillespie 1-0 on a fastball that wasn't close and a little shaky in that at-bat, unlike we've seen him all night. So to put 2 outs on Gonzalez, a little more pressure with the runner in scoring position. But Gonzalez, a hitter with a knack for the clutch.
First pitch to Gonzalez is a breaking ball, a good one. 0-1. Looked like Daniel was sitting on a fastball there. That sharp little slider caught him off guard. The 0-1 offering is a fastball up and away, 1-1.
And because of the sharpness of Evans' break and the suddenness of it as well, I would almost argue it's a combination cutter slider. It moves a little more than a cutter normally would, but it's so last minute that it's not like your typical slider.
1-1 delivery is a fastball, well executed on the outer corner to bring the count to 1-2.
And because of that, and because of his plus changeup, he gives you an uncomfortable at-bat. You're seeing that a lot with Pacific's hitters today. You almost have to play a guessing game.
Gonzalez in the hole now, 0-2. Fastball way high is taken. Ball 2, 2-2.
And see, Gonzalez was sitting on the slider. He saw it up in the zone, thought it was going to drop right back down. And luckily, he was strong enough to hold the bat back.
Almost walked right into that one. A little chin music there from Evans. The 2-2 delivery. It's a breaking ball. Sent out to center field. Sanford ranging back, and he will glove it for the third out of the inning. So in the bottom of the fourth, the Pacifics leave Hova at second base. It's still 1-1 right here on the Pacifics Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Graham Gillis, back with another inning update on San Rafael Pacific's baseball on Marin TV. Patrick Conroy pitched in the top of the fourth inning, and there was an infield single and an error allowed, but he was able to escape the jam. And the Pacifics had a spark from Michael Hova hitting a ball off the top of the wall in left field, but no runs were scored. And we'll head to the fifth on Pacific's baseball on Marin TV.
Head to the top half of the fifth inning. The Admirals will send Sanford, Bautista, and Phillips to the plate against Conroy. And if you're Conroy, you really got to put a concerted effort on keeping Sanford and his incredible speed off the bases here.
I think so. This is another shutdown inning for Conroy because we saw in that last of the fourth, the Pacifics are starting to get some louder contact. 3 sharply struck balls. Sanford having to grab 2 of them. But
first pitch from Conroy is swung on and missed wildly by Sanford, 0-1.
This is a situation where the Pacifics are starting to get something going against a man who has thrown well against them today. You can't afford to fall behind now. You have to keep the momentum in your favor. Get your team back to the plate with a score tied with a chance to take a lead.
Conroy shaking off Lindsay. He has his pitch and he delivers. And it is swung on and flown out to center field by Sanford. 80, ranging over. He's going to glove it casually for the first out of the inning here in the top half of the fifth.
That one didn't go very deep, but it's not often that you're going to see Darian Sanford put one up into the air. The kind of guy who is going to pound it into the ground if he doesn't bunt it. I mean, he'll try and flip one out. Is a Texas leaguer base hit once in a while, but for the most part, he's trying to put it on the ground and use his speed to beat it out.
That'll bring Bautista up to the plate. First pitch is swung on and fisted out to shortstop, but it's going to get by the ranging Gonzalez, who was playing in the hole for Bautista's second hit of the night. He's now been on base 3 times with 2 hits and a walk, and that'll bring P.J. Phillips up to the plate.
They were playing him to pull. There was a big hole up the middle, and that's one where the Pacifics just outthought themselves. If Gonzalez had been shaded normally, that's an easy 6-3 put out, but you have to go by what the numbers say when you're putting on a defensive shift, and the numbers say Bautista's a dead pull hitter.
Phillips is 1 for 2 tonight. First pitch is taken down low for a ball, 1-0.
I like the idea of starting him off with a changeup. It's a changeup that has been effective for Conroy this season. And starts him off pitching backwards.
1-0 delivery is swung on and grounded to third. Wicks has it. He throws onto second base. Tucker turns it quick, and it's a double play. And that'll do it for the inning. So the Admirals strand none. It's still 1-1 here as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning right here on the Pacifics Radio Network. 80 as they look to break a 1-1 tie here at Albert Park. Try to scratch some runs across against Josh Evans, who's looked very impressive thus far. Starting to hear some louder contact off the bat of the Pacifics, though, in these last couple innings.
But I think it's because the sun is set in relation to Albert Park, a beautiful twilight, as we see most nights here in San Rafael. However, that also means there's no more sunlight on the field to play. The batter's eye is no longer illuminated. There are no more shadows to deal with. It's going to start to get colder, as we're already feeling those effects, so the ball will not travel as well as the Marin layer comes into play here. But a chance for some louder contact, a chance for some line drives to get down for hits, maybe an extra base hit. The Pacifics have stranded 3 runners on base today. All of them have been in scoring position. And in both situations, the runner has gotten in scoring position with fewer than 2 outs.
First pitch to Mark Lindsay is swung on and fouled out of play. 0-1. Lindsay is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out looking back in the second inning.
Sam and Quinn to the Pacific's first base dugout area, please.
Evans chomping away at gum out on the mound. Gonna have a tired jaw after this game. The 0-1 delivery to Lindsay is swung on and missed. He was tardy on the fastball, 0-2. Evans shakes once, now is ready. The 0-2 delivery is another fastball away, but way outside this time, 1-2.
And remember, this game will have no bearing on the first half standings. Sonoma has won it all. They punched their ticket to the championship game.
1-2 delivery is swung on and fouled off by Lindsay. Did a good job to fight off a breaking ball, and the count remains 1-2.
But a game like this allows Matt Cavanaugh to do a number of things. He allows him to give a day of rest for Zach Pace in center field, who's played in every game this year. Jake Taylor, who has also played in every game this year.
1-2 delivery is another breaking ball, which Lindsay sends out to left field for a base hit. And the Pacifics have the leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
But it also gives men like Mark Lindsay a chance to get some more at-bats, get into more of a rhythm. As a bench player, it's incredibly tough to get into any kind of rhythm on the professional baseball scene because of the level of pitching and the level of play overall that you have to deal with. You have to be able to be game ready without having played the last couple days in a row. So it gives these players some extra reps at the plate, some extra at-bats against a good pitcher in Josh Evans to get more into a groove heading into the second half.
First pitch to Bukakis is swung on and fouled off, 0-1. Bukakis popped out to first base in his first at-bat. That at-bat came with a couple runners in scoring position and 2 outs. You know he's going to be looking to do a little more with this AB. The 0-1 delivery is a breaking ball, which he grounds to third base. Batista gloves it over to second base for 1. 2, a double play as Alian Silva turns a nice quick double play out there at second base and fires one on to Mosby. And that'll be a twin killing for the Admirals.
4 double plays turned in this game. 2 by the Pacifics and 2 by the Admirals. Pitcher's best friend for a reason. The Pacifics had some momentum in that inning. Mark Lindsay, a nice signal to start things off. You get the leadoff runner aboard, potential tying run. All of a sudden, 2 outs, bases empty.
First pitch to AD is a ball down low, 1-0.
And he's starting off with that cutter slider, good sharp movement, and a nice first pitch.
The 1-0 to AD is a fastball in there for a strike, 1-1. AD looking for his first hit of the night. He struck out back in the first and flew out to center field in the third. 1-1 delivery is chopped out in front of home plate. AD's going to try to leg it out. Evans sat back on his heels, and AD is going to have himself an infield hit. A little swing and bunt there for the Pacific center fielder.
Yeah, I'd agree with you that it was a swing and bunt, but I think a bunt goes farther usually. 80 chopped that one right into the ground, and that's not even an Albert Park hop. That's more the kind of bounce you'll see at Wilson Park, Vallejo's home field, which is well known, we'll put it that way, for having just the worst hops and an incredible trampoline effect if you chop it right in front of the plate. I think the ball maybe bounced 5 feet in front of home, but 80's great speed and the fortunate bounce, and Evans's decision to play it back, give him a single. Now you have great speed for Jordan Wicks.
Wicks is 1 for 2 on the night. He singled back in the first inning and struck out in the third. First pitch to Wicks is a fastball away, 1-0.
Some nice running action on that fastball. Evans continuing to put movement on the ball. On the first pitch, instead of just throwing the straight four-seamer.
The high set and the pitch is swung on and missed by Wicks, 1-1. And I think Evans does such a good job of demonstrating that it's not how hard you throw, it's how much movement you can put on the ball, where you locate it. There's so much more to pitching than just throwing hard.
The fact that he can do both of those things and comes in with a good fastball, that makes him tough.
The 1-1 delivery is swung on and popped into shallow right field, but it's going to drift foul. 1-2 now to Wicks. One here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kyle Ady aboard at first with 2 outs. And Jordan Wicks facing a 1-2 count.
Let's not forget 80 can move. 2 steals, 2 tries this year.
The 1-2 offering from Evans is swung on and fouled out of play again. Wick's doing a good job of spoiling some tough pitches.
I'm not sure that's where Evans wanted to throw that ball. You have him 1-2, and I get the idea of throwing the high fastball. With that one, caught a lot of the plate and was about belt high, and you want to try and put him away there.
Evans with a quick pick over to first base, 80 in safely. Evans very quick to home plate, as converted relievers so often are. Relievers are accustomed to coming in with men on base, men who can steal so often, so they are taught to have very quick moves to home plate, and Evans is no exception. The 1-2 delivery is swung on and missed. A good changeup from Evans. So in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Pacific strand 1 on 2 hits. It is still 1-1 right here on the Pacific's Radio Network.
Peterson, and we're live with another inning update. Conroy had a great first top of the inning with a quick 3-up, 3-down. However, they were not able to generate enough bats to get another run in, leaving the score 1-1. You're watching Marin TV, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Albert Park. Patrick Conroy wrapping up his warm-up pitches as he gets ready to face Wilfredo Petit, Aaron Brill, and Lydell Mosby in the heat of a 1-1 tie here in the top of the 6th inning. And with that, I will toss it back over to Vinny Longo for play-by-play.
All right, thank you, Danny. First pitch to Wilfredo Petit. The fastball misses low. It's a 1-0 count. Wilfredo, a couple of groundouts today. One 5 to 6 to 3, the putout. The other, a 4-3 double play to end the 3rd. The switch hitter will bat right-handed. As Conroy will hope for another quick inning, just needed 5 pitches to get out of the 5th. The 1-0, and Petit swinging and missing the changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
You mentioned those 5 pitches in the 5th inning. That was a real lifesaver for Conroy, whose pitch count was running a bit high. Now he's in excellent position coming into this inning with just 66 pitches through 5. That's right where you want to be as a starter.
And we were talking about it earlier. You use the aggressiveness of the Admirals against them. The 1-1, breaking ball misses high, 2 balls and a strike. When you have a free swinging team, in general in baseball, it's good to work in the breaking ball early, try and get them to roll over. 2-1, and the breaking ball misses low and inside, 3 balls and a strike.
You mentioned the aggressiveness of the Admirals. They have just 2 players in their lineup tonight with double-digit walk totals. Everyone else you could classify as some free swingers.
And now Conroy had started into his windup, but Petit will be granted a late time, as it looks as if Brandon Warner is up and warming for the Pacifics over in their bullpen. Or Michael Kirshner, 3-1, and a fastball misses low and in. 4th walk of the night issued by Patrick Conroy. And Aaron Brill will come up.
Last thing you want to do in a tie game as we start to progress to the later innings here. Walk the leadoff man. Never a good recipe for success. We'll see Conroy come back with quite a bit of sinkers, I would imagine, trying to induce a ground ball from Brill.
Tie ball game. The Pacifics have already won this series. They're trying for just their 2nd sweep of the year. Not when he sweeps around the league. It's such an even playing field this year. First pitch to Brill, and he swings and misses over top of the breaker. Nothing at 1. A hard hack for a man who's 0 for 2 today. The scouting report on Brill mentioned earlier that you want to come at it with breaking balls. Part of it is because he always swings hard, as in, swinging a foul ball to the right side. And an 0-2 count. When you get guys lunging as Brill does, you can come in with a breaking ball and keep them off balance. Brill, the open stance. Choked up on the bat with 2 strikes. Petit away from first, a short lead. Here it is. Swung on and popped up right side of the infield. That'll get out of play, though. And it'll stay 0-2 to Evans.
Petit with a short lead over there at first base, but you still got to keep an eye on him. He's 4 for 4 in stolen base stolen bases this year, which means that he doesn't go often, but he picks his spots well when he does, and he's very successful.
0-2. Here's Conroy. And a changeup misses low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Petita's a smart base runner, and we saw him try to sneak in a drag bunt yesterday. Not afraid to use good speed for a catcher, I think is the way to put it, but he'll sneak one on you. Kind of like Jake Taylor has done with his delayed steals so far this season. 1-2. At the chest is Conroy, and he deals. Swung on, and a bounding ball foul to the third base side. 1-2, it will stay. 1-1 tie here in the top of the 6th. Another pitcher's duel following the great one in last night's game. Keeping tabs on the Weaver's Coffee and Tea out-of-town scoreboard. The 1-2 pitch, and Brill swings and pops it up. Foul ground, first base side, coming over McClellan. Easy play for him. And there's one away here in the 6th inning. Hesitate to say pops it up. He barely got that one 15 feet off the ground, but right at McClellan.
Yeah, he's got some bees in his batting gloves right now. That Conroy ran that fastball in on the hands, completely sawed Brill off. His hands are going to be barking to him as he walks back to the dugout.
So Mosby now, who's reached base twice, once by walk, and once when he singled in the 4th. Right-handed batter, very lanky in the box. He swings a soft grounder over at short. Tough play for Gonzalez. Will field, bobble, and he has no play. That'll be an error on Daniel Gonzalez. He looked at second, and in the midst of looking there, lost control of the ball.
Yeah, I think that was a little indecision by Gonzalez. He wasn't sure if he was going to charge and field it on the run and throw on to first, or try to chop his feet up, break it down, and try to go to second base to start the first part of a double play. Just caught in between and ended up bobbling the ball, getting no one.
Now Mosby has reached in 3 different ways today. Going to bring up Silva with 1 out. Silva has walked and reached on a fielder's choice. Conroy at the chest, first pitch, and Silva swings a high drive, medium deep left. Bacakis back into his left. He's underneath it and is there to make the catch. And there are 2 away for Gadiel Baez. Met to the Weaver's Coffee and Tea out-of-town scoreboard. Sonoma with a 4-2 lead. As remember, that game is not going to be critical in terms of the first half standings. Sonoma's already won it. But the overall standings will matter as we go toward the end of the second half, because the team that has the best overall record will earn the right to have home field advantage in the championship game. And that's a critical thing, as we saw last season. You don't get the chance to walk off unless you're at home. Pretty obvious, but you want to keep pace with them if you're the Pacifics. First pitch to Baez, and a fastball is in the dirt. It's a 1-0 count. Baez, the switch hitter from the right side, reached on an error by Tucker in the 4th, grounded out to short in the 2nd inning. The open stance, and Conroy's 1-0 is swung on and fisted foul and out of play to the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike to him. Conroy has thrown well tonight, trying to get through 6 innings, as Kirshner looks like he's nearly ready out in the bullpen. Kirshner has not seen much action of late. It's Conroy at the chest, 1-1, swung on and chopped foul back behind the plate, 1-2. Kirshner's last appearance was 5 days ago in Pittsburgh. Prior to that, July 5th. Use out of the bullpen has become much more infrequent as the season has gone on.
And that's tough for relievers. You need action, you need in-game live reps to stay sharp. Very difficult to stay fresh out in that bullpen if you're not seeing consistent action.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count, and Baez swings and skies one out into left. Easy play for Bacakis as he's underneath, and there to make the catch. So the side is out here in the 6th inning. No runs, a walk, 1 error, and 2 men left. Middle of the 6th, 1-1 tie. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics, only on the Pacifics Radio Network. Home next Tuesday, and with the eyes of America on Cleveland for the Republican National Convention, the Pacifics will be hosting the anti-convention here at Albert Park, and it'll be presented by Mulrath Public Affairs. First couple hundred fans through the gates will get a red Make Baseball Great Again hat. Pacifics will have a couple of between-inning games. There's some political satire, wall-building contest, a teabag toss, candidates race around the bases, and more. So for tickets and more information on that game and all upcoming Pacifics games, visit pacificsbaseball.com or call 415-485-1563. The Pacifics will send McClellan, Tucker, and Hova, the heart of the order, up against Josh Evans here in the 6th inning. And let's see if they can get something done against him. There's been some louder contact in the last couple frames, but Evans, like he's done all night, has been able to strand runners. 4 runners left on base for the Pacifics, 3 of whom have been stranded in scoring position.
Yeah, that'll definitely hurt. Pacifics here looking to do some damage against Evans, who's just had their number all night. 3rd time through the lineup, though. Always a little more familiarity anytime that comes around. We'll see if the Pacifics can make some adjustments to all the off speeds that Evans has been offering them.
First pitch to McClellan, a swing and a sky-high fly ball, foul ground right side. Williams coming over, it'll fall just beyond him. 0-1 to McClellan. McClellan is 0-2 tonight, a double play ball and a strikeout swinging. Evans has 6 punch-outs tonight through 5 innings. It's about what you'd expect from him. He hasn't walked anybody. Based on those numbers, you'd expect that as well. 0-1, change-up misses low and away, and the count even up at 1.
And I think the thing that I've been most impressed with from Evans is the fact that he's been able to throw all 3 of his pitches for strikes at any time in the count.
1-1, breaking ball missing in the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike.
When that's the case, you're literally just up there guessing as a hitter. You have no idea what's coming, just hoping that you guess right.
2-1, and here's Evans. And McClellan swings and pops it up right side and out, 2-2. I think he just missed that one. An elevated fastball. Caught a lot of the plate. And McClellan just under it.
Yeah, McClellan's been right on a couple fastballs in this at-bat. He's starting to gauge that velocity. If you're Evans, you probably want to come back with something softer or just a better location with the fastball.
2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called, 1 away.
He does come back with something softer, and it's a beauty at that. Perfectly located breaking ball that just froze McClellan.
So Chase Tucker will stand in. Tucker is 1 for 2. Would have had a second hit, but to begin the 4th inning, Darian Sanford came in on one and stole a hit away with a catch on the run in the right center field gap. But Tucker will try and get it started for San Rafael in the 6th as Evans winds and fires. Breaking ball swung on and fouled right back, 0-1. And again, Tucker was right on it, just couldn't barrel it up though.
That one caught a lot of the plate though. That was a good pitch to hit. If you're Tucker, you're a little agitated with yourself for missing that because it was such a hittable hanger.
0-1, breaking ball misses low, and 1-1 the count. Wendell Floranas has started to warm for the Admirals in their bullpen. Kirshner continues to throw for the Pacifics. Into the windup Evans. Here's the 1-1. Inside, and that hit Tucker.
Or did it?
I thought it heard. You hear that hit something, didn't it?
How did he not get hit by that is the real question.
I know he threw it behind him. Hard to tell from our angle. I thought it got him on the foot.
Tucker's having a smile over it.
How many times outside of Major League with Charlie Sheen do you see a ball go behind a guy? Just missed off the inside corner. 1-1, and Tucker swings and chops it foul to the right side. It's 1-2. One tie here in the 6th. Tucker looking for another multi-hit game, which have been few and far between lately. Breaking ball missing low from Evans. And the count will be at lengthy at bat for Chase Tucker. In fact, this is Evans' first full count of the day. Pretty good when you can get to the 6th inning and have your first full count. 3-2, and the fastball misses low and away. So Tucker has Evans' first walk. Aboard with one out here in the 6th for Michael Hova.
And that's just a good at bat from a veteran there in Tucker. Fouling off some pitch, or excuse me, he didn't foul off any pitches, but he waited out Evans. Didn't bite at any of the tantalizing pitches that Evans offered him with 2 strikes. And Evans ends up walking him.
Hova is 1 for 2 today. Strikeout swinging, a bizarre double in the 4th inning. He blasted it to the wall and got it right off the yellow guard and over the 0-4 Nio sign in left center field. First pitch to him, he swings a sharp liner up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Tucker's going to turn the corner and slam on the brakes as it got to Sanford quickly. But the 7th hit for the Pacifics on the day puts 2 on and 1 out for Brent Gillespie.
And that was a loud piece of contact from Hova. He was sitting first pitch fastball, got one elevated from Evans, and he did not miss it, smoking one up the middle. Tucker was going so hard around second base, I thought he might try for 3, but he slammed on the brakes lately. Might have been trying to induce a throw from Sanford out in center field, as base runners often do.
Gillespie from the left side, 1 for 2 with a single. Takes the first pitch fastball high, kicks off of Petit's glove. Tucker's not going anywhere, thought about it though. It's a 1-0 count. I don't think that one got far enough away from Petit. And the Pacifics found out last night he likes to throw behind runners.
He certainly does. Cost the Admirals a run on a brilliant play that Matt Cavanaugh put on. It wasn't a mistake from Pace getting back picked at second base. It was actually planned.
Gillespie has a lot of power, slide step, and the breaking ball misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes, and now Evans, who's been ahead of hitters in almost every at-bat tonight, has fallen behind the last 2, and he's in a good hitter's count to a man who's trying to come out of a slump, but has been a good hitter this year. Tucker at second, Hova from first, with Mosby behind him. 2-0, Gillespie swings a grounder through the right side, a base hit. Tucker's being waved around third. Williams is coming up firing, and he airmails the play by plenty. Hova's going to hold at third, Gillespie to second. RBI single from Brett Gillespie, 2-1 San Rafael leads. Not sure what happened with Williams there, but his throw didn't come close to touching anybody.
Yeah, and that's a 100-foot, 80-foot mistake there from Williams, allowing Gillespie and Hova each to advance a base. And now the Pacifics find themselves in a position they had earlier tonight, and that's second and third, only 1 out. We'll see if Daniel Gonzalez can capitalize on this threatening situation against Josh Evans.
And I don't believe they're going to credit Williams with an error, as I think they're saying that they would have advanced on the throw anyway because he decided, no, there is the error. Okay, so they're going to give it to E9. I'm not sure if Williams is shooting ducks or what. That one had a lot of air underneath it. And as a right fielder, what you want to do is you want to put it on a line. That way, if there's no play at the plate, the first baseman can cut it off, or whoever cuts over to cut off the ball. And if it does fall short, it'll only be 1 or 2 hops to the plate and will be a close play. He didn't do that at all. It either slipped out of his hands or he just misfired by a lot.
Yeah, you know it's airmailed when you overthrow the guy who's backing up the man you're trying to throw to. Evans was backing up the play, as pitchers are taught to do, back behind Petit. Ball sailed over Petit's head, then sailed over Evans' head before he quickly nabbed it up in front of the Admirals dugout.
So now a run in. 2 hits, the walk, the error. Pacifics have their second lead of the ball game. Gonzalez will look to capitalize on this inning and give the Pacifics more of a cushion. 2 runners in scoring position. Gonzalez is 1 for 2, an RBI double in the second inning. Evans at the chest, and a fastball just misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. Now you can see some frustration from Josh Evans there. He reached back a little, get more velocity than he's shown of late, but the control isn't as fine as we saw it through his first 5 innings. And again, he goes 5+ every outing. 1-0, fastball, strike on the outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
That was a good pitch from Evans there, though. In crunch time here, pitching for the strikeout. Well executed on the black, outside corner at the knees. Nothing Gonzalez could do with it.
Still just one out. 1-1 fastball on the black again, and it's 1-2.
And then he follows it up with another one. 2 perfectly located pitches. We'll see what he decides to come back with as he's pitching for the strikeout. That slider's been so effective for him all night, and recording the Ks.
Corners in, 1-2, fastball misses away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another sign of a pitcher who's starting to tire. He's going more to the fastballs. Less wear and tear on the arm when you throw the heater as opposed to the breaking pitches. 2-2. Floranis continues to throw for the Admirals. Here it is. Breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle. To his right, Silva. It's passing it into center, a base hit. Hova's going to score. Gillespie being waved around third. Here's the throw, not in time. One hop petite, but Gonzalez with a 2 RBI single, and the Pacifics with a 4-1 lead here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, the infield drawn in a little bit. Looked like they were playing halfway. That positioning means that if the infield gets a ball that's hit sharply on the ground to them, they have time to throw home. But as a result of their positioning, Gonzalez's 2-hopper snuck through the infield. Alian Silva wasn't at his normal range. The ball wound up in center field, and the Pacifics played 2 runs.
And that's what you have to do, though. You have to bring the infield in there, or at least halfway. Again, this game is not critical. It's for Vallejo. You want to get some momentum going into the second half. Remember, at midnight tonight, the record's in all effect reset. Sonoma's clinched their first half title. They've clinched the playoff berth, and they'll go into the second half with a lead in the overall standings. However, every team is 0-0 tomorrow. So if you're Vallejo, you don't want to come fresh off of a sweep in games that are starting to become must-win again. So they don't want to lose this game. That's why they brought the infield in. It'll also be it for Josh Evans, and if you're not leaving with a smile, then it's time for a change. Big Marshall Motor Works off of Francisco Boulevard East. Father and son keeping you on the road. Evans ends up going 5 1/3 innings. He allows 4 runs on 10 hits. He walks 1 and strikes out 7. He is responsible as well for Daniel Gonzalez, who is on first base. Floranis has been good for the Admirals out of the bullpen this season. And Floranis comes in 12 appearances, 0-1 record, a 5.504 ERA, 24 strikeouts, so 22 walks, and 24 1/3 innings pitched. And those numbers don't say that he's been good, but Floranis is either hit or miss in the dramatic. There have been times when he's come up and coughed up 4 or 5 runs to the Pacifics in a short outing, and there are also times when he'll come in, face 9 men, and shut them all down. So the Admirals are hoping that the latter will be on the mound tonight.
Well, just in watching his warm-up pitches here, I can see the run on his ball from here. He's got tremendous movement, an excellent sinker. But I was watching him down in the bullpen as well, where he looked to be wild. Saw catchers moving saw the bullpen catcher moving his mitt a lot, not necessarily hitting spots was Floranis. We'll see if he's able to find it on this mound.
And Gonzalez having quite the day today. A couple of nice plays out at short. 3 runs batted in. In fact, Gonzalez, you could argue, is the difference in this ball game. Because with a 4-1 lead, you take Gonzalez's RBIs out, all of a sudden, you're tied at 1. And this is a good thing for the Pacifics. Earlier in the game, they were struggling with runners in scoring position, but Evans starting to tire here in the 6th. They take advantage of it. They put the ball where the fielders aren't. Gonzalez knew the situation, knew the infield was in. You can shoot it up the middle, and you'll be more likely than not to get a base knock. Lindsey now is 1 for 2 today. Struck out looking in the 2nd and singled in the 5th. Floranis from the stretch, and a fastball, big swing and a miss from Lindsey. 0-1.
Lindsey looked like he was trying to go deep with that swing. That was a mighty cut.
0-1 the count. Gonzalez a healthy lead at first base. Daniel has 2 steals and 3 tries this year as Lindsey swings and pops it up right side and slicing out of play. 0-2. Beautiful night at Albert Park. Lights in full effect. A little chillier than we've seen over the last 2 nights. What that means, the ball won't carry as well. 0-2, the fastball, good velocity, but misses high. 1-2, Marin Layer settling in. At this point in the ball game, unless the wind is blowing out, which it isn't tonight, you're going to have a tough time leaving the ballpark. This is a time when you want to shoot for the line drives in the gaps as opposed to the mammoth homers. 1-2, here's Floranis. Fastball just misses away. Nice pitch, 2-2. 3 runs in here in the 6th. Gillespie drove home 1, Gonzalez 2 more. 2-2. Floranis to the plate, Gonzalez fakes, and Lindsay right on it, fouls it straight back. 2-2, it'll stay to him.
Haven't seen any off speeds yet from Floranis. Now would be a good time to go to the breaking ball if he has one. We've seen this fastball. It's got some good velocity, but judging from that last swing, Lindsay appears to be right on it.
See if Gonzalez decides to steal. 2-2, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. We're into the high fastball again. Lindsay down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. And there are 2 away for Johnny Bakakis.
Yeah, Lindsay had done an excellent job earlier in the at-bat of laying off that high hard one. Just couldn't do it in the 2-2 count. Winds up with a K.
Bakakis is 0 for 2 today, a foul out and a double play ball. Floranis to the plate, Bakakis lunges at it, a towering pop-up. Shallow right, out goes Silva, calling off Williams. Underneath, 2-handed grab. Side is out here in the 6th. But San Rafael gets 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. And they strand 1. Through 6, a 4-1 Pacific's lead. It'll be the top of the order for the Admirals when we come back.
Hi, I'm Graham Gillis, back on San Rafael Pacific's baseball. The Vallejo Admirals weren't able to get anything going, and the Pacific scored 3 runs. I have some friends with me. How's it going, guys?
Good.
How long have you guys been Pacific's fans?
Since I was like 8. 1 year.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we have some loyal Pacific's fans here. What's your guys' favorite sport?
Football.
All right. All right. All right. This has been Pacific's baseball on Marin TV. We'll be right back.
For the most part. And now we'll turn it over to the bullpen. They try and hold on to this win for him. Kirshner has been effective, but also wild. 13 appearances, an 0-3 record, and a 7.36 ERA. He has 9 strikeouts and 14 walks in 11 innings pitched. So he's still trying to find it through a very nice inning in Vallejo, or in Pittsburgh, at the beginning of last weekend's series against the Diamonds. The Admirals have been something of his Achilles heel, and we'll see if he's able to come up and put a good appearance against them tonight. He'll face the top of the order, Tim Williams and Terrian Sanford and Gerald Bautista. Kirshner has an electric fastball, low to mid-90s. Pairs it with a nice slider. First pitch to Williams. Fastball right there, and it's 0-1. Where he struggles is throwing them for strikes with consistency.
It's all about command for Kirshner. He's got the stuff to be dominant. It's just a matter of throwing strikes or not.
0-1. Kirshner to the plate. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Williams chasing the ball in the dirt, and it's 0-2. Williams, 2 for 3, doubled and scored in the 3rd. 0-2 pitch, very high with a fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Williams' double was an impressive one, a line shot into the gap, and that was the best offense that the Admirals got all night off of Conroy. 1-2, Kirshner kicks and he deals. Fastball swung on a towering pop-up, back and over the grandstand, and it'll stay 1-2.
Kirshner starting this inning fresh. Always nice for relievers to come into their own inning rather than inheriting some type of jam with runners on base. It's just a freer mindset that you have out there on the mound.
1-2 pitch from Kirshner. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. A nasty slider. Just the 3rd strikeout for Pacific's pitching tonight. And there's 1 away in the 7th inning for Darian Sanford.
You said it, Vinny. That was absolutely filthy. a straight downward biting slider. Williams taking a hike back to the dugout.
So Sanford, the switch hitter, will flip around and bat from the left side for the first time today. The Sanford defense on with middle infielders halfway and Wicks in at third. Sanford is 0 for 2, sacrifice bunt in the third. Fly out on a ground out back to the mound. First pitch fastball from Kirshner misses inside, 1-0. With Sanford's approach and Kirshner's tendency to miss the plate with fastballs, be surprised if Sanford swings before he has one strike on him. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's Kirshner. Fastball misses low, 2-0.
And that type of approach is very typical of teams when they're trailing by multiple runs. They're often instructed to take until they get a strike, force those opposing pitchers to throw strikes and come into them.
Well, Clint Monzo has started to stretch for the Pacifics out in the bullpen. Not throwing yet, though, and has not removed the hoodie. 2-0. Kirshner to the plate. High and tight with the heater. 3 balls, no strikes.
And Sanford will be taking all the way here. I'd be very surprised if he swung.
Choked way up on the bat as Kirshner from the stretch, base is empty. Here's the 3-0. Not close with the fastball. 4 pitches, none of them near the zone. A lot of speed just put on the bases by Michael Kirshner. With 1 out here in the 7th, Gerald Bautista will come up.
Yeah, 3-run lead. As a reliever, you want to throw strikes, don't want to surrender any free passes, but the good news for Kirshner is that the man he just walked, though he has a ton of speed, is not the difference in the game. He has a 3-run lead, 1 man aboard. Could give up a home run here and still sit in the lead.
Sanford will likely go at some point in the sequence as Kirshner will check over. And Sanford is back safely. Puts him in scoring position, also takes the double play out of order. A double play here would end the inning. Bautista, 2 for 2, walk and a pair of singles, and the breaking ball from Kirshner missing low. 1 ball and no strikes.
And this is where if you're Bautista, you're sitting on a cookie. 5 straight balls from the pitcher, you know he's going to try to come in with something.
1-0. Fastball inside, 2 balls, no strikes. And that'll bring Lindsay out to the mound. A conventional wisdom would say down 3, you don't try and steal here. But Kirshner is not the quickest to the plate, and Sanford has such great speed, he's getting off to a good lead. And the last throw over wasn't particularly close. I'm surprised that he hasn't gone yet.
Yeah, league leader in stolen bases. Oftentimes, I'm sure he has the green light, which means that he can go whenever he wants to. It's just a matter of choosing his time. Sometimes pitchers can be tough to get a read on, whether they're going home or picking over.
2-0, fastball high and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Kirshner has missed with 7 consecutive pitches.
And we certainly won't see Sanford go now and risk being thrown out when Kirshner is on the verge of walking his 2nd consecutive hitter.
3-0, Kirshner to the plate. Fastball misses low. 8 straight pitches out of the zone to put the tying run to the plate in the form of P.J. Phillips.
And this is what drives managers crazy. 3-run lead. You got to come into the zone. Try to get hitters to get themselves out. No free passes.
Now Clint Monzo will start to warm up for San Rafael in their bullpen, so Nick DeBar will head out to the mound and buy Monzo some time as he just started to warm. Kirshner got the first out by strikeout with a couple of nice breaking balls to Williams, but the key part of that at-bat, I think, was that he got ahead with the fastball. And in this at-bat, or the last 2, he's missed with every pitch, so obviously was not able to get ahead. But once he fell behind, was not able to work himself back into the count. And I know that he and Nick DeBar have been working of late on his mechanics, trying to figure out exactly what has contributed to his wildness over his career. They tried keeping the front side closed a little longer as he comes to the plate, and he was very effective in his last outing. But here finds himself in quite the jam with 2 on and 1 out for a dangerous cleanup hitter.
Yeah, I'm interested in what they're discussing out there, whether it's mechanical or a mental thing. I mean, Kirshner got the first out of the inning in absolutely dominating fashion, but now is struggling here with the zone. We'll see if he can come back in.
PJ Phillips, 1 for 3. A double play ball, a single, and a ground out to first. Infielders at double play depth. As Kirshner from the belt. First pitch to Phillips. Breaking ball misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. 9 straight pitches out of the zone.
And that pitch call right there is Lindsey trying to get his right-hander to throw something other than the fastball, which he's struggling with a little bit mechanically. Sometimes there's different mechanics involved in throwing a breaking ball from a fastball, and throwing that breaking ball for a strike can get you locked back into the zone.
1-0. Kirshner to the plate. High and tight with the fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. 10 straight out of the zone.
If you're Kirshner here, you're not really trying to throw to a corner. You're just trying to pipe one down the middle. Just anything in that strike zone.
And Phillips sitting on it. Here's the 2-0, and he takes low and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Monzo hurrying up in the bullpen, but Kirshner is in danger of walking the bases loaded and putting the tying run on base here in the 7th inning. Kirshner at the belt, and he deals. Low and away. 12 straight pitches, missing the strike zone. Back-to-back-to-back walks. Bases loaded. Tying run on first. And Wilfredo Petit coming up.
Tough inning here for Kirshner. And I've been there before out on the mound, struggling to find the zone. It feels like you're throwing to a soup can in there for a strike zone. We'll see if he can get back on track.
When you're out on the mound, you're having trouble with the zone. What do you have to do to get into it?
You know, if I knew, I might still be pitching. Baseball is just such a funny game where it's so mental. You know, you can really just kind of mess yourself up with some bad voices in your head.
Petit now, 1 double play ball already today. Kirshner delivers a fastball. That one misses low. And it's a 1-0 count. 13 straight.
This is where you just have to take a little walk as a pitcher, collect your thoughts, bear down, trying to focus, go back to your natural mechanics.
1-0, fastball, right there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Petit.
And there it is. That feeling right there for Kirshner, weight of the world off his shoulders. We'll see if it can carry over in the next pitches here.
1 out with the bases full of Admirals. Kirshner at the belt. Here's the pitch. Swung on and lined down the left field line, slicing foul though. And now Kirshner ahead in the count for the first time since the beginning of this 7th inning, pitching for the strikeout with a runner on third and fewer than 2 outs.
And it's amazing what just 1 strike can do. Follows it up with another one, and now just like that, he's ahead in the count. Can go to a breaking ball. He has some options to play with here.
1-2, here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, a shattered bat bloop. That's going to fall into right field for a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Motoring around third is Bautista. He's going to score. Into third goes Phillips on the RBI single from Wilfredo Petit. Now just a 4-3 Pacific's lead. Well, Kirshner did his job. He sawed off the bat, got some weak contact, but 2 of his walks come around to score. And now the tying run at third base. Still just 1 out, and Aaron Brill at the plate.
Yeah, that was a nice sequence of pitches from Kirshner there. Executed a tremendous 2-strike pitch there. Absolutely blew up Petit's bat. Things in about 3 or 4 pieces. But Petit was strong enough to muscle it up over McClellan's head at first base, and it drops in there for a base hit.
So now Brill, who's 0 for 3 and is glad to see anybody but Patrick Conroy on the mound. Brill did not look comfortable at all today. Right-handed batter does move well. Kirshner hoping for a double play here. First pitch to Brill, and a fastball misses low. 1-0.
Brill moves well. If you're going to double him up, you got to be quick with your hands in the middle of the infield.
1 ball, no strike. Kirshner to the plate. Petit goes. The pitch is swung on in line, foul to the right side, and it's 1-1.
And that was that sneak attack we were talking about that Petit utilizes. He realized that Kirshner was completely locked into the hitter, almost forgot about him over at first base, and Petit had an enormous jump. Would have had that base stolen easily had Brill not swung away.
1-1. Kirshner at the belt. A slide step and a fastball swung on, chopped up the middle. Gonzalez has it, steps on the bag, 1 to first, 2, and the inning is over. So Kirshner struggles with the command, surrenders 2 runs on just 1 hit, and the Admirals strand 1. Middle of the 7th, 4-3 San Rafael in the lead. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics here on the Pacifics Radio Network. So an interesting inning for Michael Kirshner there in the top of the 7th. Lost command of the zone, and as we're talking about, Danny, he just locked in at the last second there.
Yeah, very impressed with how he was able to rebound there after throwing 12 straight balls, walking the bases loaded. Those last 2 batters that he faced, those were good pitches that he made. I mean, the base hit that he gave up to Petit, that was an excellent pitch in which he broke the bat. Petit just muscled one out into right field. And then Kirshner is still able to come back and induce a ground ball to get an inning-ending double play. So he showed great resolve out there.
Going to be at the top of the order to lead off against Wendell Floranes, who relieved Josh Evans in the 6th inning and got 2 outs with a runner on first in order to keep it just a 3-run deficit. And the big tool for the Admirals this season has been their bullpen. Though Floranes has that higher ERA, it's because he'll have a blow-up game once every couple of weeks. But I mean, when you're out of the bullpen, you don't get many innings to help your ERA. If you have a bad game once every 2 weeks, you give up 2 or 3 runs, you're going to get the high earned run average. But for the most part, he's been very tough out of the bullpen, as has the entire Admirals bullpen. It's a script that's all too familiar to the Pacifics. First pitch fastball to 80, misses in tight. It's 1-0.
Good news for the Pacifics here is that they have the top of their order up, though, trying to scratch back a few of these runs.
1-0, fastball misses high, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, this game was moving with great pace when the starters were in. As the 2-0, the fastball misses high again, 3-0. But the wildness from the relief pitchers has brought it to something of a halt. 3-0, Floranes to the plate, low and in, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to lead off the 7th inning. Good speed aboard. 80, now 1 for 3. He's reached base twice. Wicks is 1 for 3. A single in the first. He's struck out twice since then. Right-handed batter. It'd be interesting to see if Matt Cavanaugh decides to bunt him here. Although with this game not having effect on the standings, he may just want Wicks to get a good quality at bat as the breaking ball's in there for a strike. 0-1.
First breaking ball we've seen from Floranes. Also curious to see what 80 will do over at first base. He's got good speed. He's stolen 2 bags on the year too, so we know he can do it. It'll be interesting to see if he goes or not.
1-0, Floranes steals and is swinging a drive out into left center field. Back into his right, Sanford, and underneath it to make the catch. And there's 1 away here in the 7th inning. Off the bat, that looked like it was going a lot farther, but again, the wind's coming in and the air is cold here at Albert Park.
And Sanford's out in center field. Once that guy has a beat on it, I have a pretty good feeling he's going to glove it.
So McClellan, who's 0 for 3 tonight, a double play ball and a couple of strikeouts. 1 swinging, 1 looking. Has not faced Floranes yet, though. First pitch to him, and he swings and misses. Throw back behind 80. He slides in head first, just gets the finger in there ahead of Mosby's tag.
Pacifics might have caught a break with that one. Paul Case was out behind the pitcher's mound, didn't have a very good angle on it. Petit made a strong back throw to Mosby at first base. 80 dove back in and was called safe.
McClellan from the right side does have power, looking for his first hit of the ball game. 1 strike pitch, a slide step and a breaking ball drops in, and McClellan quickly finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Floranes is set. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Blows the fastball by him. A hat trick for Mike McClellan in his second professional game. And there are 2 away for Chase Tucker. That is a situation where McClellan was carved up. Good pitch sequence from Floranos.
So goes the ups and downs of pro ball. One night, 2 for 3, a couple of loud knocks. The next night, 0 for 4 with a hat trick. It's just baseball.
Chase Tucker now, 1 for 2, a single, a walk, and a pair of runs scored. And a fastball misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. 4-3, San Rafael is in the lead. 2 away here in the last of the 7th. Monzo continues to throw for San Rafael. Looks as if he's ready. Floranos is set. 80 goes. The pitch is swung on and popped foul back and over the grandstand. And a 1-1 count.
Not sure if that was a hit and run there. Tucker seemed a little angry with himself after swinging at that pitch. I think 80 had the base stolen, and I think Tucker was recognizing that. But hindsight's 20/20.
Looks as if Hector Ortiz, the submariner, is starting to get loose out in the bullpen for the Admirals. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and driven out into right center field. Back on it is Williams, though. Well shy of the track. He's there to make the catch. And the side is out here in the 7th inning, so the leadoff walk does not hurt Floranos. End of 7, and Pacific's leading 4-3. Mosby, Silva, and Baez will lead off for the Admirals when we come back.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Peterson, and we're coming to you live with the inning update. It looks like the Admirals have caught up, and the score is now 4-3. And to my left side, it looks like we have some fans here. Hi, girls. How are you?
Good. Hi.
What are your girls' names?
I'm Kate. I'm Ella. I'm Alyssa.
And I heard you are the birthday girl. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Are you having fun?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Yay. So what brings you girls out here tonight? Is it her birthday? For her birthday? Oh, that's so sweet. Well, that's it for now, guys. We'll be right back. Thank you.
So Kirshner struggles through his inning, gives up a run, 2 runs on 1 hit, walks 3 though, and strikes out 1. Give him a lot of credit after walking the bases loaded on 12 straight pitches, is able to buckle down and keep the damage to a minimum. So Monzo was on to face Mosby, Silva, and Baez, the bottom of the order. Monzo, the big right-hander, had 15 appearances, an 0-1 record, and a 6.00 earned run average, 7 strikeouts to 8 walks in 15 innings pitched. Monzo, whose fastball is in the mid to high 80s, pairs it with a breaking ball, and has a hitch in his step as he comes to the plate. First pitch to Mosby, and the breaking ball misses low. It's a 1-0 count. Mosby has reached base all 3 times. He's 1 for 2. A walk, a single, and an error by Daniel Gonzalez at short. 1-0. As Monzo at the belt, he kicks and he delivers. Fastball poured in for a strike. It's 1-1. Another nice pitch from Clint Monzo there. We've seen Monzo's season take a sharp uptick for the positive. His last outing, he threw a scoreless 9th inning as the 1-1 swung on and fouled back. Right on the fastball was Mosby. It's 1-2. But then in extra innings was asked to go for the 10th as well and let the first 2 men of the inning get on. It was then Nate Gherkin who came on and surrendered a game-winning home run to Mike Taylor. But that first inning for Monzo was sharp. 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3, right by Mosby. 1 away here in the 8th inning for Alian Silva. And Monzo just carved him up. 4 pitches. Mosby was on just 1 of them, the 1-2 offering. But after the foul off, Monzo brought the fastball riding high in on the hands. Nice good job of pitching by Clint Monzo. So now Silva, who's 0 for 2, a walk and a fielder's choice. as well as a fly out to left. Monzo at the belt. And the first pitch to Silva on the way. Fastball right there on the inside for a strike, 0-1. Monzo trying to protect his 4-3 lead and get Conroy his second victory of the season. Conroy has deserved to win in each of his last 2 outings, as Monzo is at the belt. 1-strike pitch. Fastball misses high and away, and a 1-1 count now. On the Weaver's Coffee and Tea out-of-town scoreboard, the Stompers are through 7, and they lead 4-2 over the Diamonds. 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and driven out into right center field. Gillespie to his right. He's there to make the catch. 2 outs.
Fans, the Barrier ticket booth is now closed, but tickets to future Pacific's home games are still.
I'm going to bring up Gadiel Baez, the switch hitter, who will bat from the left side for the first time today. He's 0 for 3. Reached on an error at second by Chase Tucker. In the 4th inning, he's also flied out to left and grounded out to short. Monzo trying to throw the first 1-2-3 inning for any Pacific's pitcher tonight. Conroy worked well, but had runners on. As the first pitch to Baez, he squares and takes the fastball. He has to leap out of the way of it inside. It's 1-0. Did face the minimum in the 5th thanks to a double play ball. Lots of double plays in this game. 2 turned by the Admirals, 3 by the Pacifics. Big reason why they've been able to hold Vallejo to 3 runs. Monzo at the belt, and he deals. Misses low with the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Ortiz continues to throw for the Admirals. He has struggled out of the bullpen for many of his appearances this year. Monzo at the belt, and the 2-0 pitch. Fastball just missing outside, 3-0. Baez is at the bottom of the order. Tim Williams waits on deck. Monzo at the belt, the 3-0 pitch. Swung on a high fly ball, right center field. Gillespie on his horse, moving back. It's 80 who takes charge in the gap. He's there to make the catch. And the side retired here in the 8th inning. So allowed out, but Monzo with the first 1-2-3 inning of the night. We head to the last of the 8th, 4-3. San Rafael is in the lead right here on the Pacific's Radio Network. A foam finger with "Fear Not the Finger" written in bold type, and then on Saturday, National Hot Dog Day, the first 400 fans will receive a Pacific's hot dog t-shirt courtesy of United Markets. There will also be a limited edition hot dog for sale, the Pacific's double play dog, with macaroni and cheese and bacon on top of the hot dog. Then that's Sunday, July 24th, a 1 p.m. start. The first 500 fans through the gates will get a 2016 team picture and trading card set, courtesy of Bank of Marin and Double Rainbow. So for tickets and more information on upcoming Pacific's homestands, please visit pacificsbaseball.com. All right, Hector Ortiz will take over for the last of the 8th. The Submariner struggled for the Admirals out of the bullpen, and if you're not leaving with a smile, then it's time for a change. The Marshall Motor Works off of Francisco Boulevard East. Father and son keeping you on the road. Ortiz in 10 appearances, 4 of them starts. A 1-5 record with a 9.92 earned run average, 10 strikeouts to 21 walks in 22 and 2/3 innings. He'll replace Wendell Floranis, who had a good game today. Floranis went 1 2/3 innings, and Floranis faced 6 men. He retired 5 of them. All he allowed was 1 walk. So good job by Wendell Floranis to stop the bleeding after Josh Evans allowed all 4 runs in his 5 1/3 innings of work. So Hova, who had the big hit last night, continues to stay hot. He's 1 for 2, a double, a single, a run scored. He's also struck out swinging. Ortiz does not have a lot of velocity on the fastball, low 80s, and his breaking ball in the low 70s, if that. A lot of deception, but seen the Pacifics plenty of times, so he's played his card. First pitch to Hova, and the fastball right there for a strike, 0-1. But after the good fastball of Evans and Floranas, Evans will just automatically be throwing a changeup. Dan Rogers effect, 0-1, and Hova waves at the breaking ball way out in front of it, fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Dan Rogers, of course, the longtime Pacific, who did not have the best fastball, but you put him in after a guy like Michael Kirshner or Chris Rice back in 2014, hard-throwing pitchers. That slow fastball with the excellent changeup kept hitters off balance. 0-2, and Hova swings at the fastball, fouls it back and off of the tee. He'll need a moment to recollect himself. 0-2, it'll stay. And you get that same effect with Hector Ortiz. Well, you get two things. He's a lot slower, so you have to readjust your timing. But you also have to adjust yourself to a brand new look, and it's one you'll only see twice in this league. Garrett Granite's a submariner in Pittsburgh who has been dynamite for the Diamonds out of the bullpen. They're the only two guys who will come from that submarine angle. Now Ortiz does not go as low as Granite's does. As the 0-2, and Hova takes a breaking ball and it misses low, 1-2. Granite scrapes his knuckles on the ground as he throws, almost Chad Bradford-esque. But Ortiz, right between the sidearm and low submarine angle. 1-2, here it is, and Hova waves and misses strike 3, fooled by the breaking ball. And there's one away in the 7th inning for Brent Gillespie. Bullpen is empty for the Pacifics. Looks as if they'll ask Clint Monzo to pitch the 9th inning after that quick 8th. Gillespie is 2 for 3, couple of singles, one of which drove home a run as a part of that 3-run 6th. First pitch to Gillespie, the fastball misses low and in, and a 1-0 count. Gillespie, lots of power, but is in something of a power drought. Has not had a home run since July 6th. That's 8 days ago. As Ortiz at the chest, he delivers, and Gillespie a big swing and a miss. Missed it down in the dirt. It's 1-1. And it looked as if Gillespie were trying to hit that first home run in better than a week. Ortiz will need to rub up the new baseball. By the way, in the last of the 8th inning, time to pick the Marin Auto Glass drive of the game right now. The 2 RBI single from Daniel Gonzalez. Not the loudest piece of contact, but a clutch hit with the infield brought in. But is right now the difference in the game as a 1-1 fastball. He misses at it, does Gillespie. 1-2. Well, if nothing else, Gillespie has his first multi-hit game in 5 games. And broke that 0-for-9 streak, so good for him on that. As the 1-2, and he takes the breaking ball missing low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's always a good amount of ebbs and flows throughout the course of a professional season. Even in a short season, like the Pacific Association, with just 78 games, you're going to go through your hot streaks and you'll go through your slumps. 2-2. And Gillespie swings, high drive, deep right field. Back on it, Williams. It is gone. Home run number 10 for Brent Gillespie, the first man to 10 in the league this year. And a 5-3 Pacifics lead here in the last of the 8th inning. I think Gillespie had an idea off the bat that one was leaving. It cut through the cold, thick air here at Albert Park with the wind blowing in. And got onto Albert Park Lane, a good 20 feet past the right field wall. That was a shot. First pitch to Gonzalez, and the fastball misses outside. It's 1-0. And that's the problem with Ortiz, as again, he's been through the league a couple of times now. And as a two-pitch pitcher, it's tough. 1-0, and Gonzalez swings the chopper over at short, and on it Baez, backhanded pickup, throws to first. That's in time. Gonzalez now 2 for 4 on the night. 2 outs for Mark Lindsay.
Now batting for your Pacifics, number 45, Mark Lindsay.
And then Ortiz is in his 5th appearance against the Pacifics. Don't forget, the first time he saw them, he went 9 innings in relief. And that was in a comeback for the Admirals that ended in an extra innings victory for San Rafael. But he's seen them for a grand total of about 13 innings. First pitch to Lindsay and a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. And at that point, the mystique of a submarine delivery has started to wear off. And you can see guys like Gillespie, who were fooled the first time through against him, have timed the heater. And that's what happens when you time a heater. 0-1, big swing and a miss at the breaking ball. 0-2, I say big swing and a miss. It was more of a big breaking ball, and Lindsay was way out in front of it. Nobody up in either bullpen with 2 away here in the last of the 8th inning. 0-2, here it is, and Lindsay chases the breaking ball. He misses, strike 3. And the side is out here in the 8th. But the Gillespie homer gives the Pacifics a 5-3 lead. William, Sanford, and Bautista will face off against Monzo for the game when we come back on the Pacifics Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Graham Gillis, back with another inning recap here in the going into the top of the 9th inning. The Admirals were set down 1-2-3 in order in the top of the 8th, and the Pacific scored one run on a solo shot from Brent Gillespie. I'm Graham Gillis, and this has been Pacifics Baseball on Marin TV.
Second inning of relief after getting the Admirals in order. And that last half of the 8th, it's a 5-3 lead for the Pacifics. Williams is 1 for 4, a couple of strikeouts, a double, and a run scored. Gonzalez has 3 RBIs today. Gillespie has himself a 3-hit ball game, including that solo blast in the 8th inning. Williams, a lot of speed from the right side, with the Admirals chasing 2. First pitch from Monzo. Fastball misses low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Brandon Warner has started to warm in the pen just in case. As the 1-0 delivery. Fastball, strike on the inside, a lot of run on it. And it's 1-1. Monzo is at the belt. And the 1-1 pitch. Another fastball swung on and chopped to the third base side. And it's a foul ball. It'll move the count to 1-2. San Rafael looking for their second sweep of the season. Would be their first sweep against Vallejo. And for a team that has struggled against these Admirals so mightily this year, a 3-game sweep at home would be huge. 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses very high, 2-2. Wilson Park is suited perfectly to the Admirals roster, or vice versa, depends on how you want to look at it. 2-2, a swing and a flare, short center. Going out is Tucker, going in is Gillespie, goes into a slide, can't make the catch. So Williams with a leadoff bloop single, and now Darian Sanford will come up representing the tying run.
Now batting for the Admirals, number 4, Darian Sanford.
Sanford, switch hitter from the left side, 0 for 2. A sacrifice bunt in the 3rd, blocked and scored in the 7th. Warner continues to throw. Infielders are double play depth, although Sanford quite unlikely to ground into a double play. Wicks creeping in at 3rd. First pitch to Sanford, taking a fastball, misses outside. It's 1-0. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Admirals. 5 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors for the Pacifics. Here's Monzo, 1-0. Fastball right there on the outside for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sanford. Patrick Conroy hoping that Monzo can hold on for a win here. Conroy, 6 strong innings today, a run on 4 hits. At the belt, Monzo. Kicks and he deals. Change up, swung on and fouled back, and it's a 1-2 count. Well, Monzo's working ahead of hitters now. He's going to try and put away Sanford, though. Bautista and Phillips, who are on the deck and in the hole respectively, much more likely to ground into a double play than is the speedster Darian Sanford. Wicks easing back to the grass at third with 2 strikes. 1-2 offering. Waved at, fouled back over the grandstand. It'll stay 1-2. Slap hitting technique employed by Darian Sanford that time, just trying to stay alive. Also gives him something of a head start as he exits the box. 1-2, nobody away here, top 9. Monzo from the belt, and he deals. Breaking ball swung on and chopped foul right side. 1-2, it will stay. Well, that insurance run from Brent Gillespie in that last half of the 8th inning is going to be critical here in the 9th. It gives Clint Monzo a little bit more space with which to work. That home run had not been hit. Williams represents the tying run at first base. Now you have something of a buffer. Little room to play with. 1-2. Fastball swung on, a high chopper to the right side. Tucker will flip to second 1. That's all they will get. Tucker was ready to tag Williams, but he froze. So instead of trying to get the out at first, Tucker just spun around, flipped it to Gonzalez. Good play. Gets the lead runner. And there will be 1 away for Gerald Bautista. Bautista does have some power, 3 home runs this season, and hit a 2-run shot to dead right in the first game of this series on Tuesday night. Monzo at the belt. First pitch, and Bautista takes a fastball. Strike on the outside, 0-1. Warner continues to loosen. Monzo is at the belt with Wicks back at third now. 1 strike pitch. Fastball swung on and fisted out into short right. That's going to get down in front of Gillespie for a base hit. So a couple of soft singles from Williams and Bautista, sandwiched around the fielder's choice. Have Sanford at second, and Bautista at first for P.J. Phillips. Well, the tying runners aboard. Phillips, though, 1 for 3, a single, a double play ball, and a ground out to first. Also walked as a part of that 7th inning when Michael Kirshner walked 3 straight batters, but was able to bear down and get out of it. And now Lindsay will head out to the mound to give Warner some more time to throw down in the bullpen. They've gone final in Sonoma on the Weaver's Coffee and Tea out-of-town scoreboard, 5-2. The Stompers defeat the Diamonds. And if you don't count that suspended game that they finished up on Tuesday evening, and then the Stompers just completed a first half ending sweep of Pittsburgh. Phillips on the right side, a lot of power with the tying run on base. Monzo hoping for a double play ball with 1 out. Going through the signs, Monzo, unlike what he sees. And he'll step off and call Lindsay out once more. Well, Sanford is at second. Bautista at first. Sanford with a better speed of the 2. Bautista was pretty well for a corner infielder, though. Has played in the outfield a couple of times for the Admirals this season, but has been stationed at third since Jackson Valera. and the Admirals parted ways. Breaking ball right in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Looks like that's what Monzo wanted to throw, and for good reason. Big first strike here. Gonzalez hovering behind Sanford at second. Here's Monzo. Sanford leaves. The pitch is swung on, grounded toward the hole the right side. Tucker will field over to his left, will throw to first. Sanford's going to try and score. Here's the throw. He slides. He's safe. In head first, ahead of the tag. Sanford's going all the way from second on a ground out to second. So the lead down to 1, but 2 outs for Wilfredo Petit. It is not often that on a soft grounder to second base, you'll see someone score from second base. But Sanford got the great head start. He would have had that base stolen easily if Phillips had not swung. And he was in well ahead of the throw there. McClellan delivered a good one. Just too late. Petit now, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Has been a thorn in the Pacific side all series long. 2 RBI single in the 7th. Had the RBI hit in last night's game to, at the time, tie it. First pitch to him. Swings and chops it over at second. Tucker's up with it. Will settle, throw to first, and that's the ball game. For the first time this season, the San Rafael Pacifics have swept the Vallejo Admirals. And they end the first half on a high note, and they get Patrick Conroy the second win that he badly needed and deserved tonight. Conroy pitched very well. And the Pacifics improved to 21-18, and the Admirals fall to 15-24. Remember, the records will reset at the beginning of tomorrow. But the Pacifics end the first half well. They maintain their pace 2 games back of Sonoma. So if the Pacifics can win the second half and better the Stompers by 2 games in their record, they will have the chance to host the 2016 Pacific Association Championship game. Good game overall for San Rafael. Good pitching, pretty good fielding. 2 errors made by the middle infielders. The good hitting as well. 5 runs on 11 hits. And the big thing is the Pacifics only stranded 6 runners tonight. Ben Monzo did a good job out of the bullpen, but you look at when the Pacifics got runners on, they did a good job of bringing them around. Only time was in those first 3 innings. They had 3 runners all stranded in scoring position, but after that, they did a good job. And Daniel Gonzalez, a couple of big hits. Good to see him coming alive from the Pacifics' perspective. Brent Gillespie needed a good night after he'd gone 0 for his last night. Well, 3 hits, including a solo blast well beyond the right field wall. Probably something that he would count as a good night. The winning pitcher is Patrick Conroy. Conroy is now 2-1 on the season after he's pitched very well his last couple of outings. Josh Evans will be credited with the loss, and he is 0-2. The save will go to Clint Monzo for Clint. That is save number 1 on the season. Well, the first half is over. Records reset tomorrow, and the Pacifics will be on the road to begin the second half. 3-game set in Pittsburgh, where they were just swept last weekend. So San Rafael is going to be hoping that they come in and do a little better than they did. Because remember, with an 0-0 record, you got to start out hot. They were not able to do that last year with the Pacifics. They started off the second half slow before the acquisitions of Jake Taylor and Guadalupe Barrera and Chase Tucker brought things to a head and started the Pacifics engine going throughout the course of the second half. I think your Michael Sourdough players of the game there, that's a tougher choice tonight. And because Danny was with us earlier, and because we have some time, and because we can, we'll pick 3 tonight. Patrick Conroy, 6 innings of 1-run baseball, always deserves a pick. Brent Gillespie, 3 hits, including a solo homer. I still believe Daniel Gonzalez, who made 2 fantastic plays outside of the error at shortstop, 3 runs batted in, including the critical 2-run RBI that gave the Pacifics that extra cushion in the 6th inning. Critical job and all good games played by those 3 individuals. Well, that'll just about do it for our broadcast. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast and that you will join us for tomorrow's game. First pitch is at 7:05. Our broadcast will begin at 6:55 p.m. over in Pittsburgh. Some final totals for you: 4 runs on 8 hits, an error, and 10 men left on for the Admirals. For the Pacifics, 5 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, and 6 men stranded. The winning pitcher is Conroy. The loser is Evans. The save will go to Clint Monzo. Time of the game, 2 hours and 36 minutes. Paid attendance, 455 individuals. Well, for Danny Nielsen and everybody here at the San Rafael Pacifics, I am Vinny Longo. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you tomorrow over in Pittsburgh. Once again, the Pacifics win 5-4. They sweep the Admirals, second sweep of the year, and they end the first half on a high note. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great rest of your Thursday.
All right, hi, I'm Graham Gillis. Thank you, Vinny, for that great broadcast tonight. We have Patrick Conroy here, our starting pitcher for tonight. You pitched great tonight. What do you think contributed to your success?
Just staying focused and kind of working on some stuff, just because unfortunately our first half of our, I guess you could say, what makes the playoffs, we ended those games, so I kind of knew I could be able to work on some things tonight, and lucky for me that I was effective doing so.
All right, thank you for that. All right, we have Danny Gonzalez standing over here, starting shortstop for the Pacifics. You had a run-scoring single to left field tonight. What contributed to that?
I was just looking for a pitch just to handle that would score my guys, because I know if we get a lead, our bullpen and starting pitching, he was great. Conroy did a great job, so I knew that once we get a lead, we're going to win this game.
Yeah. All right. So what do you think has contributed lately to the winning streak and like all the success that the Pacifics have had?
Positive outlook. We just looked that we're going to win games. We know we didn't win the first half, but we know we can come back and win the second half and do what we did last year. So we're really looking positive.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. All right. All right. This has been Pacifics Baseball on Marin TV. I'm Graham Gillis, and we'll see you next time.